Alright. Let's just make sure everything's turned on. It is. Check. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Shadowdark live stream play. I think we're on like episode 7 now. And we are moving forward. The players are making their way back to Sunstone, the Great Keep in the north. It's the capital of the barony, and more importantly, it's the home of its baron. It is a large settlement with a huge variety of people and races and all sorts of things going on. But the players are not home yet. They are travelling through the hills or down the hills towards the town itself. Where did we specifically end last session? I didn't actually watch that on the last VOD. I'm pretty sure we did like a rest, didn't we?
Yeah, we
rested
just
and we got
rested.
ambushed in the night, and we ended up fighting off a bunch of hobgoblins.
Oh yeah, that was so good. That was so good. Yeah. That was a very impromptu fight, very sandboxy, and obviously you guys managed to take the fight to the hobgoblins. You forced them to retreat. It's very clear to you guys that these hills especially are just swarming with greenskins. The sooner you guys get out of here, the better. So, good looking map. Wow, man. I appreciate that, man. You're good looking too. Sorry, that was somebody in the chat, guys. So, it's the following morning, and you guys are setting out. I like to think that this kind of area is relatively unfamiliar to you guys. I want to know which hex you guys would like to go into. Do you want to go into the upper left or the lower left hex?
Probably the upper left, since that's where we came from last time.
I think
and
following the
there's
river
also
would be
a lot of
wise,
that.
so...
Cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Alrighty, can I get a check from your navigator? Who's your navigator gonna be?
Me, of course.
You, the ranger. Right. Okay, so I need a navigation check. It's intelligence, and because you are a ranger, you have advantage on this. Oh, natural 20. Good way to start the session. Congrats. So, with that in mind, you guys now begin moving through the morning. The weather itself is obviously quite warm and dry, but the temperature hasn't reached its climax yet, and you guys are all enjoying a swift and quick journey from the hills now down into the lowlands. So at this point, guys, you can see water to the north, but more importantly to the west, you now see it, captivating in its size. The Keep of Sunstone, off in the distance. It seems you guys are almost home. I'd like Isabel to roll me a d6, please. See if anything happens on the way back. Brilliant. So, with that in mind, nothing bad seems to happen, but what is good is that as the afternoon begins to progress, the weather, whilst hot, is not bringing you guys to your knees. And with the water that you've managed to gain from the nearby river, you guys are provisioned and ready to meet and reach Sunstone, which you do close to sunset. Congratulations. As you guys now arrive at Sunstone, you can't help but hear the vast amounts of commerce and trade and just all of the industry that is taking place in this large place. Sunstone has a few thousand inhabitants, which is comprised partially of their military. They have soldiers, border guards, all sorts of stuff, but also the vast migrant population, the people who have moved here over the last 100 years, searching for a new life. This place is very new. This barony, it's on the edge of civilization. It is a borderlands, and the people here are here for adventure, and they're here for a new life, the same way that many people, sailed over to the New World, to America, and settled there. It's quite similar in this part of the world, in this campaign too. With that in mind, guys, this is the map of Sunstone. It is probably not the maps that you normally see in D&D campaigns, but this is an explorer town map. All the hexes have different things going on. You can see that there are a couple of map icons. This gives you the very basic idea of where things are located. Number 1 is where the keep itself is located. Number 12 is where the largest of the temples is located, the Temple of Helm. Number 16? Yeah, somebody put in the chat, you're playing the Settlers of Catan? Yeah, basically. Number 16 is the Wizard's Tower. And number 17 is the Orchard. There is an orchard. This place, whilst arid, does have bits of irrigation from the nearby river, and that irrigation is allowing this orchard to thrive. So, are you guys ready to enter into the town?
Of course.
Definitely. Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So it's worth mentioning, guys, that as you guys enter into the town itself, you're coming through a working class region. This is a district of slums. The people here are new to the town and unfortunately do not have protection from the wall. The wall itself is made of sandstone. It is very beautiful as you kind of come closer and closer, and you can see walking along the top of the wall archers, a handful of men with crossbows. This is a place that is well defended. But with that in mind, you now see the gatehouse ahead. There are a number of men who are waiting to greet you, and they seem to be looking at papers and talking to people who want to go through as well. You guys are not the only ones who are looking to go through the gate, and you guys now join the queue, getting ready to talk to the local guards. So, as you now approach, the guard says, "State your name and your business." Who wants to represent the group?
My name is Isabel, and we are returning information to the bailiff.
He nods and he kind of looks over at the rest of your group. George and Miles also introduce themselves as prospectors who are a member of one of the guilds here, and they look at their papers and nod, and you seem to get the all clear, but not before paying a toll. There is a toll to enter into the keep of Sunstone, and it happens periodically. Not every time you come in, but on occasion you will get told. It really depends on the guards that speak to you. But the toll to enter, based on your class, for each of you guys, will be 5 silver pieces. So I'd like you to mark that off your sheets.
Extortion.
Otherwise, you will not be given entry into the town itself. You've marked it off, guys, yeah?
Well done.
I've also just kind of been like imagining this entire time me, Alistair and Duncan just like carrying that super heavy box of textiles just across the plains, all kind of like crab marching it together.
Yeah.
Just like, come on, we need to put this down somewhere. Fuck's sake. And like once we get into the walls, just like fucking, all right, 1, 2, 3.
The man, kind of takes your money and says, "Make sure to keep your weapons off your persons. Weapons are not permitted on the streets of Sunstone. Other than that, enjoy your stay. Welcome to Sunstone." And he now steps out of the way.
In we go.
Radio.
And you guys are now given entry. It's worth mentioning, guys, that cities and towns in my settings, and specifically this settlement that you're walking into, they have strict rules for things like weapons, and armor rules aren't as serious, especially if you are an adventurer or a soldier or some sort of member of the militia, somebody who kind of works for law and order. But usually such people like yourselves will be watched by local officials. If you're walking around in armor and you've got weapons equipped, then you're obviously going to be given a bit of attention from the authorities. There is very strict penalties for people using swords, daggers, and other weapons within the city, and unfortunately for you guys, if you were to do that or to use weapons in the city, it is the death penalty for people who break the rules. But don't worry about that. I'm sure you guys are you're upright citizens, upholding the law. You guys now head into a kind of commercial area. It seems to be more of like a market. There are people selling fruit, vegetables, things that you would expect the lower end of the people here to purchase. The lower class of this quite large town. And there is a man trying to call you guys over, saying 2 for 1 on his various fruits that he has acquired. Bananas, pears, oranges, lots of variety. Where do you guys want to go? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna head straight for the green halberd.
The green halberd, very good. That's cool. The green halberd. What about the rest of you guys? Actually, I'll very quickly check. Actually, green halberd is number 7. So yeah, that will take you towards the northern side of the town.
Well, Duncan looks begrudgingly at Alistair from across the box of textiles and says, perhaps me and you should go and find a place to offload these, huh?
Absolutely. Norman nods in agreement. And
all right, so the two of you are going to try and offload your textiles, try and make some money. What about you, Alistair? You're not far from the Wizard's Tower right now.
Indeed. Well, can I actually still go there after being practically expelled?
You can, but you probably wouldn't want to.
No, I think...
You've kind of been exiled, really.
Exactly. I think I'll go look for a quiet place where I can study the spellbook I took from the goblin last session.
Well, you guys still have rooms, I'm fairly certain, at the Green Halberd. You could always go there with Isabel and start studying.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be going along with Isabel and studying the spellbook.
Very good. Alrighty, so the two of you head over towards the Green Halberd, probably telling the other two where you're going, and you two lads are now looking for a cellar. It's fair to say you speak... Well, actually, what do you guys want to do? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to ask?
Well, you said that we were in the lower end part of the markets.
Yeah.
So maybe let's try and head to maybe a building establishment or a place that might specialize in textiles, so that we can make sure we, make our money's worth on what we have.
Sure. Okay, that sounds cool. You in agreement with that, Norman?
yeah, sounds good.
Cool. All right. How about the two of you each roll me an intelligence check to figure out where to go, who to speak to explore this area. Are you specifically staying in the markets of 15, or are you moving to a different hex?
Are there other market districts other than 15, or does this appear to be the...
You don't know. You've really not explored this town before. You don't know what is here. This is really an exploration for you guys to learn more about this town. But you can ask questions, you can roll dice, you can find things out. Think of it as a dungeon.
Alright, well then, Yeah, let's since if this seems to be kind of like the lower market area, let's start asking around where like the more industrial market areas might be.
Cool. I like the where you guys are going with this. So actually, Duncan, you're gonna roll intelligence, and Norman, you're gonna roll charisma. As you guys work together, try and get the information that you need.
Oh,
Alright.
I need to bring your I need to bring your tokens on the screen. I think would probably be a good idea. You two are going to be heading north towards 7. Then we have Norman and Duncan. There we are. There you go. Your tokens are really small, but you know they're on the screen.
and we're having a good time of it.
Doing very well.
I'll come back to you guys. So, Alistair and Isabel, you guys now follow the road towards the keep itself. And as you kind of move closer and closer, you now head through a residential area. It is working class, there are taverns, and there's a couple of blacksmiths and various kind of low-end craftsmen here. Carpenters, things like that. But it just seems to be a place where the kind of low end of commerce is really taking place. It's interesting because only a stone's throw from this location to the right, you see that purple hex? That is where you guys can now see the palace, the kind of the grand home of the Baron, where the Baron lives within this town. And it's just overlooking all of these, commoner-esque buildings. It's interesting to say the least. You guys now move to the keep itself and move around it. Keep is very busy. There's lots of soldiers, merchants, and travellers in the area. The centre of the town itself, it's like a square, but the keep is in the centre of the square. And around this keep, there are like merchant stalls, and some of the shops here are like the most prime real estate in the town. They're very expensive, and yeah, a lot of money. A lot of money. But with that in mind, you guys now both arrive at Hex 7. This is as Norman and Duncan start moving out to try and find more information. It's not going well. But Alistair and Isabel, you guys both arrive at the Green Halberd, and you are greeted by old Bill, who offers you guys a drink in exchange for 2 copper pieces.
I need a room.
Well, I think you've already got a room with us, don't you? You pay for 1 week.
Oh, that's right. Do you offer bath services?
Bath services? Not here, but a bit south from here. There's a couple of bathhouses.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna head up into my room and get out of my armor, and it's getting a bit heavy and uncomfortable.
Yeah. It also makes you like a big target in towns like this to be wearing armor. Especially if you're not a soldier. If you're a soldier, then fine, but if you're not, the guards are not going to treat you very well. They're going to feel like you're, threatening, or you might be a problem, stuff like that. So having your armor off makes you appear normal, I guess. Yeah, you go upstairs, sort yourself out. Alistair, you get a drink and start reading the scrolls. Norman and Duncan, you guys are lost. And you now begin to head around, just kind of looking for anywhere that you can offload your gear. I'd like you to both roll me a d6. On a 1, something bad is going to happen. Okay.
Uh-oh.
You guys head down an alleyway, trying to cut into the next kind of bigger street. You've heard that there are more shops in that area. Maybe there are some guild houses. But what happens as you come down this alleyway is that you are now approached by a number of men who are up to no good. And the one at the front is shorter than the rest, but he's got some very big burly guys behind him. There are 5 of them in total, and one of them is at your rear. The little man says, "Oh, you two, you need help with that?"
No, I think we're good. Thanks for the offer, though. And I kind of like look around to try to find like a spot that we could just kind of like walk on out of here if it's possible.
You look around to try and find a way to escape, and one of the men now grabs hold of a part of the actual crate that you guys are carrying, and the little man says, "I wasn't asking."
Are there any guards around?
No, there's not. And you suddenly notice in the corner of your eye, Duncan, that a couple of the men have got like daggers, knives, you know, kind of short swords to their hip. They haven't wielded them, but they're there. These guys are actually carrying weapons within the town, which is, as you already know, against the law. What do the two of you want to do?
I've got an idea.
All right. I'd love to hear it. I'm gonna be checking my inventory to see if there's anything.
The little
used.
the little man would love to hear it too. What do you want to do?
Duncan says, "Now, hold on. We're not unreasonable men. Alright, fellas? We understand what's going on here. No need for violence. Right? Looky. He says, in this box, there's naught but some rags. Alright? Some nice ones, but something tells me a couple of fellas like you wouldn't be so interested in such a thing. So, I've got counteroffer." And Duncan takes out the plate mail armor that he has. Now, this is something that we picked up outside town. It's nice, it's sturdy, and if you're not going to wear it yourself, I'm pretty sure you could sell it to a blacksmith for a lot more than what we're going to sell this box for. Yeah? How about it? Let's not be unreasonable.
Or make a charisma check.
Oh, here we go. Alright. Where is it? Charisma. Well, that's a 6. Alright, anyway.
That is pretty nice, actually. I think you can put that down as well.
Yep, alright, I deserve that. Ahem.
Ten. 9.
Well,
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm trying to think. You
7.
said there were, what, 5 or 6
no,
of
Norman's going to
5.
take one to the. Is fighting illegal here, or is that
3.
is it just carrying weapons?
I mean, you can push somebody over. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm going to push the guy behind us over and try to make our way back to a more open area where there might be guards, and I start like yelling for guards.
Roll me a strength check, please. You suddenly now shove the man at your rear, and suddenly you have a way to escape. You take the opportunity and begin to run. Duncan, I assume, you follow.
course.
Carrying the crate, you guys now make it back on the street, and before the men can catch up to you, you find yourself now blending back with the crowd once again. You suddenly see some guards. At this point, the men you had seen, they're gone. Place is dangerous, there are criminals. Best to keep your eyes peeled.
Duncan sort of cracks a half smile. It was your idea to take a shortcut.
I'm better in the open air. I don't really like the city all that much.
Oh, sure, yeah, make excuses.
But
Panic, kid. We're on a mission.
and with that being concluded, you do now find that there is a merchant's guild in town. And this merchant's guild doubles up as a trade house where merchants, travelers, and adventurers alike can barter and trade goods. Would you like to go there?
Yes, please.
Sounds like the perfect place.
The building itself is a bit like an auction house. There are many people selling various things. Selling two cats! Two cats! You know, people selling crocodile skins, gemstones of different types. There is even some person who is selling a orc to be like an indentured servant, like a slave or something like that. There's all sorts of different traders and merchants selling all sorts of different things. And you guys now come in, and there are like tables set up, and you guys are given a table with your stuff, and the rules are very simple. Whatever you guys sell your stuff for, the trade house gets 10%. Okay?
Sounds good.
If we must.
That's how the trade house makes money. And obviously that's what funds them. But 10% is what you need, and the idea is you guys can now use this table almost like a stall at a fair, or I don't know, in the UK we have car boots and things like that. It's just a place where you can sell your wares from. A market stall, perhaps. But it's inside like a building, it's like an open room, and there's lots of other tables with different people trying to sell. And the idea is people can walk up, sit down, and begin to negotiate, and if they don't want it, they can just get up and walk off. Okay? I'd like one of you, the one of you who would like to actually do the bartering here, the negotiation here, to roll me a charisma check.
What's your charisma there, Duncan?
Not good.
Yeah.
I've got a +0. Is that higher than what you got?
Definitely.
Well, Norman's gonna try to pawn these wares.
Okay.
So, sorry, one sec. Let me just grab it. Charisma check, yes?
Yeah.
We're not doing good.
So, you spend the rest of your time before the place closes, and considering that you came in at kind of sunset, it's already getting dark. It's only a few hours that you get to spend here, but unfortunately, you find no bites. With that in mind, you take your wares back to the tavern and regroup with the rest of the party. You both get a drink from old Bill, costing you 2 coppers. You mark that off, and you now sit down at the table with Alistair and Isabel.
I'll buy a drink for everybody.
Sweet.
Yeah, thanks, Isabel.
Thank you.
Oh. Duncan sort of raises a drink to our first successful mission. Huh? How about it?
To that, Norman goes in for a cheers.
Indeed.
Cheers.
I raise my mug and cheers.
You look around and you see, this place is packed, right? There's people on all of the different booths, drinking, laughing, kissing. There's just a lot of different behavior happening around you, and it's a very lively place to be. I mean, apart from that, you recognize a couple of old faces in here. Old Bill, a big burly tavern keeper. Apparently he's ex-military. He served Sunstone, and now he's running this tavern here, which is pretty cool. His wife is a bit of like a trophy wife, very beautiful, but kind of getting older now. She's always got a very dour look on her face. She never really seems very happy or pleasant. She just kind of scowls at people that she doesn't really recognize. There are rumors about her that she's the daughter of like one of the local gangs, like the gang leader, sorry. And it seems old Bill might have done very well for himself. But, you know, other than that, the place itself is called the Green Halberd, and you look around and you would in fact see that there is a green halberd on the wall. Very, very nice. It's like silver plated, but it's been painted green. So, is there anything you guys want to talk about in character, out of character, or are you guys ready to sleep and maybe start a downtime?
Well, Duncan does ask, say, how many of those goblinoid hands did we manage to get our hands on?
I think I ended up tossing the most away from more valuable goods. And he like kind of like goes into his backpack, which I imagine would be pretty large, carrying all the shit that he has, and he pulls out he'd probably do this in his room, like not out in the open, and pulls out like these 2 elven short swords. He's like, we could probably sell these at the market tomorrow as well. I imagine we get a pretty penny for them.
If you so desire.
Yeah. One sec. I might have some hands still on me here.
Well, since I've
Nope,
still
I
got
got
this...
rid of them all.
Oh well. Since I've still got this plate on me, I'm gonna go to the blacksmith's in the morning, and then Isabel, I might take you up on that training offer. How about it, huh? Mid-morning?
I nod.
Fair enough.
Good stuff.
Duncan asks, what about you, Alistair? Any grand plans knocking about in that old nog of yours?
Well, the first step will be to fill the head with some more information. I found the old goblin's spellbook and some interesting tome about the temple we raided last time. So I'll be reading those,
Oh,
trying to see if anything interesting comes up. Perhaps learn a new spell or two.
oh, good stuff. Although I do wonder, do you think that hobgoblin that we killed would have been able to summon demons? I've heard all kinds of stories about how spellcasters can do that sort of thing, you know?
He
Especially
might
evil
have, if he truly was as powerful as he himself claimed to be. But I haven't seen anything like that in his books.
Hmm.
I'm just lucky that he didn't do it while we were there.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of them, no offense, spellcasters do seem to be a bit of, piss and wind. They claim to be almighty and all powerful, and then their spell fizzles the first time they try to use it. No offense.
Magic is a fickle power. It holds great potential, but it's very, very treacherous as well. Only great practice can assure any form of real power.
Yeah, well, I'll leave it with you. I'm just good with me old stick. Can always trust a good wampum stick to get the job done, eh?
Yeah, you did knock.
It did work.
It did work. It did work very well.
Yeah. Duncan sort of has a bit of a chuffed, proud smile on his face. Yeah, don't mess with the stick, mate.
I don't imagine you'd be able to get in too much trouble just carrying that around on you either. You could probably even hide it up in your shirt.
No sense. Leave it on me belt. Either way, Duncan sort of gives a yawn and pats his legs as he stands up. Well, early bird gets the worm, eh? Goody two shoes, I'm off to bed. Night, you guys.
Nah, I'm going to retire as well. And Norman gets up, finishes drink, and just puts the cup on the table and leaves towards his room.
Very good. If you guys are ready to continue, we can move to the next day. See if we could get Norman and Duncan these textiles sold. And then we can do a downtime, I think. You guys are up for it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
Cool. So, armors need to be sorted out, correct?
Yeah, we have to get the armor refitted.
That's good. All right. Plate armor is like 120 gold in this, right?
I think 130.
130. Okay, that's a bit of a weird number. Yeah, you're right. 130. So, repairing, to resize the armor, it's not very expensive. I'd say it's 20% of the cost. So it'll be 26 gold pieces to get it resized for you. You guys willing to pay that?
Well, I don't have that, but I'm still going to go to the blacksmith anyway, because I have another idea for my plate.
Okay. So, do you just want to go down to number 5 and look for a local blacksmith, or are you looking for, like, the best blacksmith in town?
I'll start in 5. See if I can't find what I want there.
Do you want to join him, Isabel, or not?
Yeah, I need to sell some stuff before I can afford to get my armor refitted.
Hey, you guys aren't as rich as I thought you were. Good stuff. Alright, and I mean, it sounds like if that's the case, Norman, you're probably, unless Alistair wants to join you, you're the one who's trying to sell these trade goods then.
Yeah, Alistair, what's your charisma score there?
Quickly have to check because I can't read on my character sheet which one is charisma anymore. It's the bottom one, right?
Go to
bottom-
attributes and
I think
abilities tab.
so.
Ah, yes. Well, that would make it a 0.
Okay, so I'm pretty much. It doesn't make much difference. So probably better for you to do something else. Yeah, Norman's gonna go try to sell the 2 elven short swords and the textile box.
Cool. When I get
selling weapons at these places isn't like frowned upon at all, is it?
at trade houses, no, you can sell anything here. As long as somebody's willing to buy it, you can sell it. Unless it's like an illegal item, and weapons aren't illegal. You can sell weapons. They just have to be like covered up, and they can't be used.
Yep. I'll
So how much?
Bring them out and present them.
When I give you guys treasure, I usually give you a price for the treasure. What's the price for the swords? What's the value?
Let me check.
You haven't been writing down the values of the items. That's a big mistake. You always do that. Otherwise, I'll have to improvise a price.
They're
14
in
gold
the
pieces.
Discord.
Oh, they are.
Short swords are worth 7 GP typically. Do these have another different price or not?
I think you just said they were elvish short swords. I don't think a different price was ever given.
14 gold pieces.
Oh, well, never mind.
For the pair, right? Or for...
It says pair of
what?
elf-forged short swords, 14 gold pieces.
There you go. 14 gold pieces is what you're trying to sell it for. You can roll me a charisma check to see what the best offer will be. Cool. You can sell them for 15.
15.
Want to take it? Or do you want to leave it?
I'll take it.
Okay, you can mark off the short swords, add 15 gold pieces to your sheet. And with that in mind, let's do a little bit of roleplay. You've got the big thing of textiles, and you're waiting now for somebody to come and sit down at the table, and suddenly a man with long, dark, wavy hair, dark eyes sits down at the table. He's wearing quite nice linens. He appears to be kind of upper middle class, and he says, "Name's Alan. What is yours?"
Norman, nice to meet you, and I go in for a handshake.
He shakes your hand and he says, "I couldn't help but notice that you've got textiles there. Is that correct?"
Yeah, these well, been quite a tracking these across the desert, but yes, that's what they are. Are you interested?
"I might be. Where do they come from?"
Took them from a goblin camp, well, hobgoblin camp. Managed to clear the thing out.
One second. I'm not gonna metagame this too much. I'm gonna roll a d30 and we're gonna figure out this guy's temperament and see. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's quite interesting. So you stuck it to those hobgoblins then?
Absolutely.
Ah, indeed, indeed. Well, I would be very interested in taking those off your hands. But with them being obviously stolen goods, I can't give you market value for them. I hope that's understandable.
Oh well, what's your offer then?
Well, may I? And he kind of gestures like he wants to look at the textiles to see the quality.
Yeah, go right ahead. And I take out one and I give it to him, hand it over.
How many are there?
I think there was 11 of them.
Yeah. And he kind of looks through them and he says, well, a couple of them, and he says, "Well, if they're all of the same quality, anyway, you can barter with him. This is why I'm role-playing, right? So if you want to take the deal, feel free to. But this is like Dragon's Den, like Shark Tank. You can negotiate."
Oh no, I know.
He says,
I like where this is going.
He says, "I could take them off your hands for 70 gold."
It's a little bit. It's a little too low, my friend. What say you to 95?
Roll a charisma check.
Nah.
95 is not interesting at all to me. What did I say originally? I said 60.
No, sir. If you continue to lowball me, I'm not going to be able to, well, take these sorts of deals. Tell you what, I'll give them to you for 80 gold pieces. 80 gold pieces sounds like a fair deal to me.
75. And we have a deal.
75. All right. Fine. And he goes in to shake the man's hand and starts packing up the textiles for him.
Very cool. So
Sweet.
he signs the kind of the receipt for you. His name is Alan Cartwright.
Okay. This guy might be somebody to sell less than savory things towards in the future.
Well, it's worth mentioning that you haven't seen him go to any other tables. He seems to have been looking for specific things.
Well. Alright. Alan Cartwright.
1 second, guys. I am writing his name down as a new NPC.
I put him in the notes, by the way.
Cool. So with that in mind, you pack it up. He gives you 75 gold as agreed, and you are now 75 gold pieces richer.
Sweet. Do I get any XP for that? Or...
No, you don't.
Aw.
You can't have it both ways. You either get experience when you get the item, or you get experience when you sell the item. Not both.
Fair.
You want to sell your short sword and the silver and gold circlet. Yeah, you can roll me 2 charisma checks.
No,
You ready,
no,
Isabel?
I think I'll keep my hands on these for now.
Wait, what?
Wait, were you talking to me or no?
Isabel.
Oh, Isabel. Okay.
9 and 8. Okay, so you can sell the short sword for 6 gold pieces. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, the gold circlet. Unfortunately, the highest offer you've got currently is 30 gold pieces.
I'll take it.
Okay. Alright, be aware, guys, that you need to be marking off 10% of what you're given to the trade house. So that means the 75 that you got, Norman, you need to take off 7.5 of that for the trade house, and the same for you as well, Isabel, with your stuff, because that is the tax. That is the trade house tax, 10%. Just mark it off, and we can continue forward with the session. It sounds like you guys now have enough money. Are you guys going to divvy that out, or what's the plan? Sounds like certain
Alright.
players need to get armor repairs and stuff like that.
So we've
I have
got,
enough to get my armor repaired now.
Okay, so we've got 67.5 gold pieces to split among us here. So how do we want to divvy that up?
67.5 is what you said.
Yes. So let's just divide that by 4.
Yeah. 16,875. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to be taking the difference on that, I guess.
Just to give everybody 16 gold and 8 silver.
Yep.
Keep it simple. You know, don't
Perfect.
overcomplicate it. No point
Okay.
arguing over an extra gold or an extra silver even.
It's mine. I want it. Nah.
So yeah, everybody had 16.8 gold to your sheets. Is that enough, Duncan?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, there is a blacksmith that you get talking with, and his name is Russell. He is in his early 30s, short, dark hair that's slicked back like a greaser, and he's got very hairy arms. And he says, "Yeah, I could sort out your armor for you. It's gonna cost you, though. Those armor changes, they're not cheap. And by the looks of this armor, yeah, I'd say 25 gold."
Duncan throws up his hands in a moment and says, "Well, we're a bit ahead of ourselves here. Sorry.
Time is money, mate.
I understand." He produces the plate and says, "Now, I want to make a bit of a trade here. You see, I own this club and this leather armor, and I was wondering if you could do a bit of work on them in exchange for this plate armor. Eh?
What kind of work are you talking about?
Well, I want the tip of my club to be weighted so it hits a bit harder. And I
With
want
metal?
you to... Well, usually.
Oh, I'm just asking, you want me to put metal plating on the tip of your club?
Indeed, sir. And then, and he produces his leather armor as well, some minor studding to make it a bit harder. Excuse me, sir. Think you can do it?
He looks at it and shrugs and says, "You give me that plate armor, I'll sort you out. It'll take me a few days, obviously.
Well,
Probably around a week, actually, considering the studying. But it shouldn't be too big of a job. Got a deal?"
Duncan produces 10 gold pieces, and he says, "Here's 10 gold pieces if you can get it done in 3 days."
Roll a charisma check.
I'll give it a shot. Well, it's not bad.
3 days. I'll be able to do it in 4.
Fair enough. I'll need a loner stick, though.
And he shrugs and says, "I mean, it's a club, mate." And he looks around and he manages to find a club. It's got a bit of dry blood on it. And he pops it on the table and says, "Here you go."
Cheers. By the way, the name's Duncan. Duncan of Dusthaven.
Name's Russell. Nice to meet you.
Hello. I'll be back in 4 days, Russell.
See you then. And he now looks at what he's got to do and he kind of winces slightly, realising that it's a lot of work. Alright.
Right.
So, that's you guys all done. Alistair, you going to try and learn anything? Do anything?
Yes, I'm going to try to learn from the Hobgoblin's spellbook. I want to learn detect magic.
Cool. So you're gonna. This is your first and only attempt of this spell.
Indeed.
It
which
requires
is-
an intelligence check, DC 15.
Okay,
Rip.
that's
That's-
initiative, but
that's
it
initiative.
still fails.
Does it?
Well, no, but with a +3 for intelligence, in that case it would be a 15.
I'm so disappointed that you rolled initiative and not intelligence. Come on, guys, get good. Learn to roll. But 15 succeeds. Congrats.
Hooray! So that means I can now cast detect magic.
It is now available to you, and for as long as you succeed, you can keep casting it. When you fail, you can't cast it until you have a rest.
Okay, I'll add it to my spells.
Hell yeah. Congrats. So, with that, have you guys all being done? Is there anything you guys would like to do for the remainder of the day? Anywhere you would like to explore or anywhere you'd like to see?
Yeah, I'm gonna find another blacksmith since this one's busy with Duncan.
True. That's very true. So, looking around, you come across a number of different blacksmiths. What are you looking for specifically? What are you trying to do?
An armor to refit my armor.
Somebody who can fix your armor. Right, well, there are 3 blacksmiths in a row. 2 of them are men, 1 of them is a woman. All 3 of them seem to be armorers, and it seems the 2 men are quite busy at work, but the woman seems to be just kind of looking around and just waiting for somebody to kind of come to the stall. You can see lots of pieces of armor that are on display. None of them are like finished sets from the 3 stalls, but it just kind of shows what they can do, what the caliber of their work is. Do you want to roll a check for me? Maybe intelligence to try and figure out which stall is probably the right one for you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You're not really able to gauge much. So, which one would you like to go to? Just go for
Seeing
it.
that the woman isn't busy, I'm gonna assume that I can get the work done quickly with her. So
Perhaps.
I'll approach the woman.
So you come up and she's got long blonde hair. It's tied back in a ponytail, and she's a little bit on the beefier side. She definitely looks like she knows how to strike an anvil. And she looks up at you, and obviously noticing you approach, she gets a bit excited and says, "Have you got work for me?"
Can you refit armor?
Of course I can.
I have a set of plate that I need refitted to myself.
And she looks at it and says, "Yeah, it's definitely a bit big for you. You came to the right place. I could take care of that. It'll take me a few days. I might need you to come by so I can check the measurements on it. It is going to cost you."
Certainly.
And she pauses for a moment and says, "I could do it for you for 20 gold."
20?
She nods.
If you polish it, I'll do it for 20.
Roll me charisma. She seems grateful that she's actually got work, and she nods and says, "I'll polish it for you."
We have a deal. I count out 20 gold and I give it to her.
Hell yeah. You give her the money, give her the armor, and the other two men that are in the row, they kind of look over, see that she's got work, and they kind of like tut and, you know, act stupid about it, but she seems very happy, and she says, "We'll come by in a couple of days, we'll see how it's doing, and then we'll go from there. Thanks for your patronage."
I smile and I will look for the group again.
Hell yeah. Alright guys, you've got stuff going on. So, let's now do a downtime, guys. Not sure how much money you guys have got, but maybe you've got enough to do something interesting. Between adventures, this is kind of what we do, and it just, you know, makes things a little bit quick. You can do two different things. You could either do carousing or you can do learning. Carousing allows you to gain experience and meet new characters, and you know, learning allows you to like learn a new skill and basically roll with advantage on certain things. Do any of you guys have an idea of what you would like to do?
Norman wants to get drunk.
Hell yeah, buddy!
Arousing sounds good.
Yeah.
Could use some beers after learning those spells.
Alright, so we're going to do some carousing then?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hell yeah! Alright guys, so carousing does cost money in this system. And the base level of carousing is 30 gold pieces. It's quite a lot. But remember guys, no matter what you roll, you will guarantee some experience points. And that will help you guys approach your next level up. It's also worth mentioning that once this downtime is over, there'll be new adventure opportunities.
Well, I've got 15 to contribute.
I have 54 gold total, so, and I don't really have any expenses at the moment.
Cool. Yeah, it's worth mentioning, guys. The first one is 30 gold pieces. The next tier is 100 gold. This is a cool thing about Shadowdark, guys, is that, you know, in a lot of systems, you get so much money, and you've not really got anywhere to spend it. In Shadowdark, if you do end up getting a lot of gold from, like, an adventure, you can just funnel it into carousing or into training, and you can actually gain something of benefit to you and your party from it, you know?
I'm willing to contribute 30 gold.
Well, there are 4 of you. 30 is the lowest tier. If you wanted to go up to 100, that would
I
be
can
25
contribute
gold
another
each.
30.
So it's up to you guys. I'm going to put in the chat the 2 levels. 30 GP, a worthy night of drinking and festivity.
It's also on page 96 of the book.
Yes, it is. You're very welcome to have a look at that, guys, if you've got the book on you. If you don't, you can obviously just read the chat.
I feel like it's more worth it just to keep our money, so we should probably just stick with the 30 gold pieces for the night, a worthy night of drinking and festivity. And then later down the line, when we have like a ridiculous amount of money, we can just spend it on like throwing immaculate parties.
Yeah, the top one is 2 legendary weeks of drinking and debauchery widespread enough to take over a whole city.
Fair enough.
So it really does range what you guys can do.
Yeah.
So,
I
so
also kinda
30.
wanna save some money for hiring some like henchmen to help us out in our next exploit.
Yeah, that's fair. So 30 divided by 4. Yeah, okay, so that's 7.5 gold each, guys.
Alrighty.
If you wanna mark it
let's
off.
all contribute that.
Does that sound fair? They already contribute that? Down the middle?
Yeah.
Alright. If that's the case, guys, I'd like each of you to please roll me a d8. And let's see what you roll. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, guys. We got some 2s. Uh-oh.
Are we ending up in the stocks?
So Duncan, you wake up blearily in your bed. You gain 2 experience points.
Oh, sweet.
2 from Norman. You're locked in the stocks for 1d4 days. Please roll a d4. You're locked in the stocks for 1 day and fined 20% of your total wealth that you have currently. And this is for setting a building on fire, you naughty boy. You do gain 2 experience points. So add that to your sheet.
Less. Kinda yay. But less that's all.
Oh, yay. Oh, yay. Next up is 4. You hastily remember donating 10% of your total wealth to a glib priest. You gain 3 experience points and a priest ally. Well done, Alistair.
Nice.
Do you
I like
do
that
you
one.
do you serve a god?
Well, serve like I do.
Believe in a
follow
god? Follow a god?
Lathander.
You follow Lathander. Very cool. Well, you get speaking to a priest in town whilst you're drinking called Arthur. And Arthur is a priest of Helm. Helm is the grand church temple in this town, in this large town. And over a couple of drinks and talking about books and various things that you're both into, you have made an ally, a friend. And he's told you that, you know, if you'd like to, you can come to the temple sometime and read some of the books and scrolls in the old scriptorium. Maybe you'll find some more knowledge, something that might help you in your adventures.
That's really cool. Nice. and I did lose 10% of my gold to him, didn't I?
You did donate. You did donate to him. Yes. You donated to the Temple of Helm. Apparently, they're doing some renovations to the catacombs, which is underneath the area. Apparently, it's been crumbling and it's been in ruin, so they're trying to kind of repair it up. And you just thought, wow, this sounds like something worth investing in. Whether this is something that you felt when you were sober or drunk, well, that's up to you.
I get very passionate about catacombs as soon as I get drunk.
Yeah, I'd say so. So yeah, 10%, and you gain 3 experience points and a priest ally.
Awesome.
Last but not least, we have Isabel, who rolled a 7. Congratulations, you led an entire tavern in a wildly insulting song about a disliked noble. There is a noble in this town who is exiled, and you don't really know much about him. All you know is that the people here don't fucking like him. And after enough drinks, Isabel, you were the loudest voice in the room, and you have gained 4 experience points and a new ally. The new ally is a bard. The bard's name is Tommy, like Tommy Gun, but obviously no guns in this setting. But Tommy is a bard, he's a performer, he's a singer, he always performs shirtless, and he has many women who follow him around. But Tommy is taken aback by you, Isabel. You're not like many of the other women that he has seen in this town. You know how to defend yourself, you don't need no man. And Tommy is quite taken by you, thinks you're very unique. And so much so that he's being very respectful and cordial and kind to you, and not acting the way that you assume most bards speak to women. You have gained Tommy as an ally. Be aware, guys, that allies are individuals that you can meet in the town, you can interact with them, you can ask them questions, and if the price is right, or the role is good, they can join you on an adventure. Is that understood?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
One second, guys. I'm writing down a bit of information about Tommy the Bard. Cool. Alrighty, so yeah, you gain 4 experience points and a famous bard ally. Well done, guys. That is your carousing over. And it's worth mentioning that in this time, your armor has been refitted by the smithy. Your weapon has been plated, Duncan. And more important, your armor has also been studded. You might like this, you might not like this, but this is what happens. The armor now has the ability to soak damage, Duncan. Every attack against you, there's -1 to damage, basically. Every set of damage you take, it's -1 to it.
Oh, sweet.
Does that make sense?
Hell yeah.
So if you take 2 points of damage from an attack, it's 1 point.
And my club, what's the upgrade to that?
It's
If
plus
there is
1.
one.
It's +1 to damage.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I love that. Dude, I think Shadowdark's so good because I say, oh yeah, you get +1 to damage, and people are excited. I say that in 5e, you're like, oh, only +1. But anyway, so that's what you've got. Make a note of that on your sheet. It's very important that you remember that, because whilst I'm going to write it down. Usually by like session 20 or 30, I've got so much written on the campaign that finding certain things can take me a little while.
Yep, got it all down.
Duncan's leather armor is now studded and soaks 1 point of damage per hit.
And then do we regain all of our hit points after a downtime?
You do.
Okay. Because I just know Duncan looks kind of hurt and...
No, that's a very good point, and I think it's fair to say that because it's been probably around a week since arriving back, you know, you're all feeling better. It is worth mentioning, guys, that you will need to pay some upkeep costs. I think Isabel kind of paid for some rooms for a little while, but now as we start the next adventure, you may need to pay for new rooms moving forward. But I will say, guys, that as downtime comes to an end, you actually get talking with the men who previously hired you, George and Miles, the prospectors. They tell you that the situation is kind of in limbo. They haven't been able to speak with the Lord yet. Apparently he's been very busy. They are being played around with a little bit. They don't really know what's going on, but apparently they have an appointment later in the week. They will keep you guys posted on what they say. You know, what the Lord or Lord's representatives say. So until then, guys, you're a bit free. You can head out of the town and look for new locations to discover and attack. You could always go back to that slave camp where you guys were captured originally. You can look for groups on the road. You can join one of the caravans that is traveling north and south from this town. Or you could head around town and see what's going on.
Norman, why the fuck did you light a building on fire?
Norman just kind of like sitting in the public stocks, stripped of all his shit, just like looking at it like, it was the ale.
Why couldn't you be normal and like get into a fight or like hook up with someone? Why did you have to burn a building?
Fighting in this town carries the death penalty. I gotta do other fun shit.
Only if you stab someone.
Duncan cuts in there, and when you say, "Why didn't you hook up someone?" Duncan cuts in and says, actually kind of petty. He says, "Yeah, like some kind of loser bard, perhaps." Go around with his shirt on. What a
Look point for that.
Oh, yes, dude, I'm in it.
What?
You don't like the bard, Duncan?
No, he's swell. Just kind of a fairy. With a stupid shirt.
Izzy, Isabel, can you get me something to eat?
Oh yeah, I think there's some people with some nice tomatoes around here. Yeah.
Really, Duncan? That would be so nice of you.
I love this. So he's actually sitting in the stocks then. So we're entering the downtime. He's just in the stocks. Oh, it's great.
I imagine Duncan goes and pelts me with a few tomatoes, and after this.
No, I'm not actually going to pelt you with tomatoes. I'm probably going to just wait around until you get set free.
Worth mentioning that there aren't many guards here today, which is a bit concerning because usually there are. It's worth mentioning just for reference. Norman has been put in the stocks in Hex 1 on the screen outside the keep in the middle of the town, so everybody can see his humiliation. Fortunately, the building itself, whilst there was damage, it wasn't anything too severe, hence why you only find a portion of your wealth. But these stocks will hopefully be a reminder that arson is a crime, Norman. But I will say, yeah, not many guards here today.
Can I approach one of the guards and see if I can, like, grease them to let him out of the stocks early?
Yeah, so you walk up to him and bat your eyelids, and he says, "What do you want?"
I pull out 5 gold and I give it to him. You want to let him out of the stocks? I think he's learned his lesson.
Roll me a charisma check as you try to bribe an official of this town. In broad daylight.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
He looks at you and he grabs hold of your wrist and he says, trying to bribe an official of this town, you're gonna be joining him. And
I
suddenly,
wasn't bribing you.
Tommy steps in and says, you right, mate? How about you let her go? We don't have to cause any problems here. You don't want me to write a song about you and your mum, do you? And the guard just kind of stops, dead in his tracks, goes a bit yellow, goes a bit green in the gills, and says, what she did, I could take her hand for that. No, you can't. There's no rule for that. And let's be honest, half you guys are corrupt anyway. Just because you don't want to be corrupt today, I'm sure you'll take a deal later, wouldn't you? Piece of shit. And they go a bit back and forth, but he lets go of you, and Tommy kind of gestures for you to step away, Isabel. Like, don't mess with these guards.
Gold piece at Tommy.
Thank you, my lady.
If I may, at this point, Duncan comes, quite frankly, scurrying over and sort of thrusting himself between the two. Now that's enough. I believe this situation has, played its course, and we're just going to wait for our friend to get out of the stocks here. If you don't mind, Mr. Bardman Guitar Face.
The guard looks at you and says, he's not being released until sunset. My superior isn't here right now. Apparently there is some problems happening at the church.
The church?
Duncan, bring me some tomatoes.
I'm gonna...
Yeah, a lot of the guards have been summoned there. Apparently there's some sort of fights broken out. Sounds a bit scary.
Huh. Fair enough. Thanks.
Right, the rest of you lot, fuck off. Otherwise you'll be joining him in the stocks.
Oh, Duncan certainly ushers Isabel. Come on.
I joined Duncan.
Yeah, Tommy's kind of wanders off.
As we're walking away, Duncan grumbles, oh, he's such a loser. Stupid no shirt. Beautiful hair and his chiseled features.
Sun-kissed skin, yeah.
Yep. Ridiculous. I can't believe people go around like that nowadays. You know, where I'm from, if he went round like that, he'd be in a ditch in 5 seconds. You know, I can't even, you know what, I'm gonna...
Hey, Tommy, what's your workout routine?
I'm gonna... Duncan, I'm not jealous. I'm just pointing at the silliness of the... You know what, whatever, I quit. I'm gonna go to the church. You guys figure this out. I'm out of here.
I'm gonna join Duncan going to the church.
If you wish.
Alistair, where do you want to go?
What church are you heading to?
The big one.
Big one. I definitely want to meet the big one. Perhaps my friend is there.
Alright, so you guys all ditch Norman. Leave him by himself.
As they
It's
all
not
leave,
like he's going anywhere.
As
I'm
they
sure
all
he'll
leave,
catch
like
up.
Norman kind of like comes to a little bit, and he's like, "Hey, Isabel, Duncan, wasn't somebody supposed to grab me some soup? The fuck?"
So,
We'll catch up.
with that in mind, you guys now make your way across the town, moving through some of the kind of richest parts of this town. You know, the palace itself, some of the grandest estates are located here. And whilst you're not able to pass them directly, you're able to kind of go past the outer perimeters of these estates. They've got big walls and gates, And even the gates themselves look as if they're made of partially of silver and gold. Very wealthy families live here. They've got guards outside, and they look at you with distrust, and you just keep on walking as you make your way now towards X12, the Temple of Helm. And as you guys approach the temple, it is a grand building. It's not just a church, but it's a grand temple. It's equivalent to like a cathedral, right? A very large and opulent building with a tower, bell tower, and it rings every hour, just like the Big Ben in London. And as you guys approach, you notice all the soldiers here, chatting and talking as if it's just a day in the war camp, you know, a day in war, just waiting to move out, to march out. They've all got their armor on, they've got their weapons sheathed, and they're just discussing things as you guys approach. What do you want to do? This is outside the temple, then. This is not inside the front. You can see that there is a way up, and the doors to the temple themselves are actually open currently.
Alright. Duncan props his hands up to Isabel and Alistair and says, "Okay, I've got a master plan. Alistair, you head on inside and see if you can't find your priest buddy in there. See if you can't coax some information out of him. Meanwhile, me and Isabel will go and have a chat with some of our martial pals. See if we can't coax some information out of them. Sound right?"
Sounds like a plan.
I know it does.
So, let's start with Duncan and Isabel. As Alistair, you begin making your way up the steps to enter into the temple. It's worth mentioning, Alistair, that as you kind of get to the front, two guards kind of stop you. And one of them says, "What are you looking to do?"
I want to visit the temple, pay my respects to Helm.
It's off limits right now unless you've got a special reason for entering.
Well, I was supposed to help with the renovation of the catacombs.
And they look a bit shocked by that, and they say, "Well, nobody's going to be going into catacombs right now, not whilst this is all going on."
What is all going on?
I'm not allowed to say. And it's at this moment that, like, your priest ally comes into view. He's, like, deep in a actual hall, but he notices you, and you notice him. You kind of lock eyes for a moment, and his eyes kind of grow wide, like he realizes you're at the door, and he's kind of gesturing you to come in, but the guards are kind of stopping you. What do you do?
I gesture towards Arthur, my priest friend, trying to get the guards to look in his direction. Look, I'm being invited in by the clergy itself. Is that not a reason to let me pass?
I'll make a charisma check.
Charisma. Okay.
Charisma, yeah.
I'll try not to roll initiative this time.
Please. Ooh, there you go. Now, the men notice Arthur, and honestly, that's a high enough roll that they just kind of accept you for your word, and they let you pass. No more discussion needed.
Wonderful.
You
Then I
enter
go
it. Yeah, you enter in and now approach Arthur as we switch back to Duncan and Isabel. You see there's lots of men around, lots of soldiers, arms crossed, hands on hips, just talking and chatting about various things. A lot of the conversation doesn't really appear to be about what's going on inside. You get the impression that they've been mustered here for a reason, but most of the men don't know why. But they might know more than you do. What do you want to do? What do you want to say?
Alright. Duncan gives a wink to Isabel and says, "Watch and learn." He then steps up to the nearest militiamen, soldiers, and
Guardsmen.
says, "Guardsmen, yeah," and says, "Right there, fellows, what we all mustering here for?" I only got my ticket the other day.
He turns around, and two men are now kind of looking in your direction, and one of them says, "What's it to you?"
My job.
"What's your job? Are you a guardsman here? You don't look like one."
Aspiring, you could say.
"Aspiring. You don't have a job here, then."
Well, you know, got to start somewhere. Come on, fellas.
"You look a bit green to be hanging out with us. Maybe you should come
Green.
back in a couple of years."
Well, that's. I'm not saying this. That's deeply emasculating. Sorry, Isabel, you were saying?
How would one join the Sunstone Guard?
"You'd have to speak to our sergeant." And he pauses for a moment and says, "She is located not too far from the keep, where the barracks is. That's where people who want to sign up as guardsmen go. But I'll tell you," he kind of looks you up and down, "not too sure the two of you will make it. It's pretty rigorous."
I've killed a hobgoblin sorcerer, escaped an orc slave camp. I think I've got what it takes.
"I'm sure you have, honey."
Yeah, and I knocked out a hyena. Yeah.
They both don't really take you guys very seriously, but they say, "Let it be known, it's not easy to become a guardsman here, and the likelihood that you'll actually be set as guardsman here is unlikely. Right now, I think the only opening is border patrols. So if you were to sign up, that's probably where you'd end up. And people die on border patrol."
So I understand. Right. So, what's been going on the rumor mill? Yeah, anything new?
Roll a charisma check, dude.
I'll try.
Oh shit, natural 20. What the fuck, bro? There you go. You fucking smashed it. And, bit of a smirk. And, he says, "Well, apparently, the sergeant is gunning for the commander's job. Not too sure if the commander knows yet, but he's been very busy recently, and right now, he's not here."
Hmm. So it's a sort of might lose his job whilst he's away kind of thing.
Who knows? Let's put it this way, though, there's definitely a power vacuum happening around here. Opportunity for people to get up in the world. Maybe I'll become a corporal.
Maybe. Duncan sort of says, looking over at Isabel.
Sorry.
What was that a clown?
That was a squeaky toy, sorry. I squeezed it. It was one of the dog's toys. I squeezed it. I didn't think it was going to make noise, and it went...
All good. Sorry, man. Alright. Well, Duncan, gives a sort of like a fist towards his own chest as like a, note of martial respect towards the soldiers. And, well, either way, we won't take up too much more of your time unless, Isabel, you have anything more to ask?
I nod my head.
Fair enough. Well,
Very cool.
Duncan, just before, says, turns to Isabel and says, "It seems that Alistair managed to get in, so why don't we do a bit of sparring whilst we wait for him to come back out?"
Okay,
Yeah,
go find some sticks.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't spar with swords here. You might be able to go to the barracks. They have a training field. You might be able to go there, but you'd have to pay.
Well, Duncan sort of, as we start walking, Duncan sort of jokingly says, "What? Are you too girly for grappling?"
I will grapple you.
Good luck. I was known as the wrestling champ back in the orphanage.
No, I mean like I'm grappling you.
Oh. Okay, strength contest. If that's alright, Loki.
Yeah, go for it,
Alright, so you got 14.
man.
Oh, just...
So, Isabel, you win the contest. What do you do?
Yeah, so I grab him and I put my arm like up where his shoulder is. I put my leg behind his leg and I like throw him to the ground.
Nice. And as you hit the ground, Duncan, some of the men nearby notice and then begin to laugh.
Duncan laughs himself and says, well, that's me firmly put in my place. Anyway. He stands up, brushes himself off. You win this time, Izzy.
We now switch back to Alistair. And Arthur says,
I'm so happy you've come here, Alistair. I hope the guards weren't too, well, rough with you.
Oh, they were kind and all, but they were very secretive. They wouldn't let out a single word about what's going on around here.
Oh, well, they've got good reason to. What's happened here is an absolute travesty, Alistair. I tell you this, the head of this temple is in shambles over what is going on in the catacombs. I can't even believe it myself.
What has happened, my friend?
You don't really know all of the details, but a bunch of the priests are dead.
Dead? In the catacombs?
he nods.
And what's worse, they've been risen as monsters. And dead. Here, of all places.
Undead? Within this sacred temple?
Shh, shh, shh. We don't want people outside hearing about this. It would cause mass panic.
I understand. The undead, these beings, do they remain within the catacombs? Are they trying to get out?
Some of the knights who reside here in the temple have gone down, and one of them died down there.
And he pauses for a moment and says,
And that was only over the last few days. I think a few more died earlier than that. We weren't really aware because the catacombs are off limits to many members of the priesthood. Only the more senior members are allowed entry because, well, it's a sacred place with sacred items, artifacts, things that we don't want everyone to be touching.
and he pauses and goes and kind of looks over at one of the stained glass windows of the temple, and it's just a really beautiful depiction of Helm himself, the Helm the Watcher. And whilst looking at this, he's not looking directly at you, he just kind of speaks with you standing to his side, and he says,
I fear there may be a necromancer down there. I just don't know how he got down there. No one knows.
A necromancer within the Temple of Helm would be a disgrace, and a necromancer within the walls of the city would be a tragedy.
He nods, he says, we're not too sure what to do, but we've sent word to the Baron. We've let him know of what is happening here. We're waiting for salvation, if I'm being honest with you, Alistair.
you kind of pause and think about what he said, whilst he now turns to you and kind of just looks into your eyes. And he says,
What has brought you here today? Did you want to go and read the scrolls that I was talking about?
Well, that is what brought me here, but then the commotion did rouse my curiosity. Perhaps there's some way we could help out.
at this moment you see four guardsmen kind of march past you both, and they don't speak to you, but they just kind of march by in formation. And he kind of gets a bit sidetracked and flustered, and he kind of forgets what you just said, and instead says,
They've been marching through all day. They've been defending the entryway to the catacombs vehemently. A couple of men have been already sent out with wounds. I can only imagine what is down there. Nothing I would like to fight, truly.
If even those knights can't survive against them, then it must be a very grave threat.
he pauses and he says,
I don't know what is going on. I know that a couple of knights have gone down and they've lost their lives, but...
And he kind of reflects on what he just said by saying,
There must be a way to bring down the necromancer. Or whatever is bringing these men back from the dead. It's just very scary. I mean, the catacombs itself has members of the priesthood from more than a century ago buried down there. You can only imagine what the necromancer is doing as we speak, raising more and more of my brothers and sisters. The malice, the wretched evil.
It is a tragedy, but he has to be stopped. But how? How can we know his whereabouts? How can we fight him?
he pauses and he says,
I don't know. We're hoping that the Baron will have a solution. In his heyday, he was a great priest of Helm, a warrior knight. But since becoming a Baron, his age catching up with him, he has not been as frequent to the temple. I fear he may not help us in time before too much damage is done.
Do we have any information about a necromancer in the city's past who might have returned somehow?
he shakes his head and he says,
I don't think so. Necromancers are relatively uncommon here. But what I will say is that the catacombs below, it is not Helm's domain that watches over the dead. It is Kelimvor.
and you kind of understand that. So, like, Helm is not like a god of death. A lot of the men who serve Helm, they also worship and serve Kelimvor because he's kind of like the person who kind of carries people to the afterlife, if that makes sense. So it's very much a pantheon. You can worship all the gods if you wish, or you can have like a strong belief in one of them. But it's very much believed in this world, guys, that magic is real, that the gods are real, and that their magic, their power, their divinity is actually genuine. Even the evil gods.
Well, we did encounter other undead in those mines we ventured to earlier. Would it be possible to assume that are those mines too far away to be possibly connected to the catacombs?
I wouldn't know. But it doesn't make sense how a necromancer could have got in there, unless there was a rat within the priesthood. Somebody who has betrayed the order.
But
Who would do such a thing?
I don't know. But anyway, best you don't diddle-daddle here, Alistair. A lot of the priests are on edge. We don't want any nastiness occurring. I'm very worried. If there is in fact a necromancer down there and they find the artifacts that we have hidden down there, they could become very powerful.
that
I
mind,
understand.
he says,
Best you leave.
I nod and I do indeed take my leave.
cool. You now step out. And as you leave, you see one of Arthur's superiors come over and speak to him. You left at the right moment, by the looks of it. And you now rejoin Isabel and Duncan. And Duncan's got mud on his ass. Seems to have fallen over or something. But they both look at you, wondering what you've learned.
Well, there appear to be undead in the temple's catacombs. I do say this in a sort of whispering way, not that every random passerby would be able to hear it.
Yeah.
You aren't
Fucking-
serious, are you?
Sadly, I am.
Duncan, you can almost see him turn pale at the mention of undead as he sort of, oh, well, ain't it a shame that we aren't able to help at all, huh? Oh, well, suppose we'll just have to go and deal with less, incorporeal foes. Yeah? Right, guys?
I don't know if this remains unchecked, that it might overwhelm the entire city.
I mean, how bad could it really be? I mean, it's just a... come on. Remember what happened last time we fought undead? I nearly died.
Do you think these undead would be related to the ones we've met before?
Well, the skeletons we fought were digging. Maybe they dug their way in.
I do still have the map we found last time. Does when inspecting it, does it seem plausible that a
No,
tunnel has been dug?
no, no.
No.
That'd be miles and miles.
Well, I mean, those sorts of places are always known to have secret passageways, ancient cave-ins that sometimes clear out. Could be any number of ways that something got in. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Oh, and Duncan gestures towards the dirt upon his body and sort of half-assedly says, "Oh, and don't worry about this. I was set upon by 3, 4, 7 big, large lads, and I drove them off, you know, to protect." And he sort of gestures to Isabel. You know, that's just the kind guy I am.
I break out in laughter.
Duncan draws a line in the air while saying, and that's my manhood flying away.
What do you guys want to do now?
Well, I suppose we should go and join Norman and wait for him to be released.
Hell yeah. So you come as you start making your way back. Norman looks like a neglected cat, and he's meowing and howling for everyone to hear as he's singing a very sad song about his current situation. He's singing as if he's on death row and he's getting ready to be executed. You all know that's not the case, obviously.
Oh, the woods whisper my name, but here I'm bound in shame. The freedom of the wild replaced with sorrow's game. My heart aches for the forest call, my spirit yearns to roam. Locked in the stalks, arrangers fall far from my woodland home.
Oh my god, well done. Luck point for that. Remind me of
Duncan-
fucking Garfield from the fucking movie.
Duncan
Yeah,
claps his hands. Sort of, oh, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Can you do every rose as it's thorn?
They're gonna regret
don't
putting
know
them in
that
those
one.
stocks.
Oh man, that was brought a tear to my eye, really.
Worth mentioning, some of the guards really enjoyed this song, and one of them just walks over and just unties, he unlocks the wooden plank and lifts it and frees you from the stockades a few hours early.
Ah, thank you, son. Oh.
Try and keep yourself out of trouble next time. Alright?
It was an accident. I was just trying to cook some extra chicken, and, you know, grease fires happen sometimes. Yeah, I'll be
Yeah, piss off.
Norman does so.
You guys gotta step away from the guards and the stocks. And as you do, a couple of kids arrive with tomatoes, and they realise that you're out the stocks, and they go, "Aww," as they were gonna lob tomatoes at you. It looks like they've just missed their opportunity.
Better come a little earlier next time, you little gobshites. Get out here, you goblins.
They run off.
All right. Being the master tactician that he is, Duncan once again gestures to everyone and says, right, we have a couple of options. Option number one, we can go out into the wilderness, potentially to the nearby goblin encampment that we still haven't gone and checked out. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And go fight some foes that, you know, won't murder our faces and turn us into horrible monsters. Or Alistair's got a hot tip that down at the church that said horrible monsters are carousing and forming in the deep, dark, down, terrible crypts, and that there are, you know, undead things crawling about. Now, which one sounds better? We go and crush in the faces of a couple of gobbos, or we go get murdered?
As soon as Duncan like mentions undead, like Norman like goes from being like this cheery like, oh, I just got all the stocks kind of air to being like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, stop, wide-eyed, like, I'm not going back down there.
Yep, that's what I said. There's undead creatures, creepy crawly, in their way around the crypts underneath the church, the catacombs.
How many?
Oh, we don't know, do we, Alistair?
No idea, but there appear to be many or multiple strong ones. At least the ones currently keeping them at bay are having serious trouble.
So, if nothing's done about this, are they going to just, like, start spilling out into the city, or?
I'm not sure, but I think that that's a serious risk indeed. It might just happen.
Norman's face just turns pale.
You don't mind both.
Mm, I, I, how serious is the issue? There's priests there. They should be able to deal with this easily.
You would think so, but the priests seem to be panicking. They can't seem to get control of the situation. But they were also being, well, I wouldn't say secretive, but I don't think they want word to get out, so I wasn't able to get all the details.
Well, were they offering any pay? Was that discussed at all?
No, they were hoping that the Baron would take care of it.
Duncan
I don't
chimes
think they
in.
were actively looking for adventurers.
Duncan chimes in at that. I doubt that it'll be a matter of time before they start looking for adventurers once everything else they try fails, which it most likely will, let's be honest.
Well,
I'm afraid so.
At that point, there's just gonna be more added to the army, and like Norman starts like scratching his head and like looking like very uncomfortable with what he's about to say. Maybe we should go nip this in the butt before it becomes a bigger problem.
Duncan pinches his arm, exclaims in pain, and then looks around. Oh, this isn't a nightmare? Oh, okay. Yeah, great. Woohoo!
I think it is a nightmare, and I think it's just gonna keep on getting worse and worse if nothing's done about this. Like Norman scratches his head again, just like, oh fuck, why am I like this?
Well, that's the churches and the barons problem. The last thing we need to do is be caught in the catacombs and then thrown into the stocks, or worse.
Yeah, you wanna know what? You're right. Okay, let's start making some plans to go raid that goblin camp. I don't really want to spend any more time in here. Those little gobshite kids are gonna come back and start throwing rotten fruit at me again. Let's head back to the tavern.
Oh, I like this plan.
So you head back to the Green Halberd. Old Bill welcomes you guys with hot food and cold drink. And you guys are able to sit down and discuss what the plan is, what you guys want to do, where you want to go. Let me show you guys the map. Where are you looking to explore? Where are you looking to go?
So, if I recall correctly, that structure to the south east of us, in the pretty much the adjacent hex, was mentioned to be a goblin encampment or some kind of ruin with goblins in it.
That was a rumor you were told, correct?
I believe that's what I'm remembering. I think that's where we're going to go. Or at least that's where I'm suggesting we go, just to collect some more goblin hands, maybe find a bit of treasure, and continue this streak we've got of slowly but surely equipping ourselves.
Is there a leaderboard by any chance for goblin kills?
A leaderboard. Oh, that's interesting.
Competitive goblin slaying.
Competitive goblin slaying. There's not.
Combo Slayer 557.
There's not at the moment, unfortunately.
I'm gonna go and mention that. What's the barkeeper's name again?
Old Bill.
Old Bill.
Old Bill. I'm gonna go and mention that as like a possible idea for Old Bill to like do is for if like adventurers like go and kill goblins before they turn their hands into the government. If they bring them here, he'll start putting their names up on like leaderboards and stuff. And just as kind of like a little interesting thing to do.
You know what? That sounds pretty good. I get quite a lot of mercenaries like yourselves, adventurers coming in here. And quite frankly, anything that can get you guys being a bit more competitive, putting more drinks on the table, sounds pretty good. Is it just no prizes, just being the top dog? Is that the main focus?
I mean, the top dog's the main focus, but if you want to start handing out prizes to it, it's just a little idea that...
Not really, no, not really.
Yeah, no, do however you want, but I was just kind of thinking it would be an interesting thing as a top dog type of idea. Also might be able to bag me a bit of reputation around here. I'm looking to get some hirelings under my belt. I'm trying to plan a pretty large raid at some point in the coming months here.
He nods and seems to understand that and says, well, you know, Sunstone's a good place to be, but there are lots of other settlements on the other side of the river. They could always be good choices for finding men. But, for being honest with you, if you ain't gonna find men here, your best bet, and he stops for a moment, he says, best bet is to go to the warehouses. That's where a lot of the mercenaries congregate and wait. Because, you know, a lot of them serve as caravan guards to a lot of the people who come to and from Sunstone. You dig?
Yeah. Thank you for the information. And I tip Old Bill a silver piece.
Cheers, mate.
Alright. Might I suggest, before we plan our expedition, let's take stock of, well, our stock. How are we looking on rations and torches, guys?
We need to buy some packs so we can all carry things this time around.
I agree. I think that would also be a good idea for us to invest in a camel.
You mean like a pack camel?
Yep, like a pack camel. Get some saddlebags for it. And just have it as something that can haul our stuff around the desert, so we don't run out of slots.
Fair enough. Maybe we can use this expedition to fund that.
I mean, I'd be willing to spend most of my money on one. Loki, maybe I should start like going to the warehouses and start looking to see if anybody would be willing to sell me a camel. Tomorrow, of course, being that I've spent the entire day sitting in the stocks.
Yeah,
singing
definitely.
the blues.
Definitely not tonight. Yeah, definitely like tomorrow. Okay, cool. That sounds interesting. I like the idea. I'm trying to look up to see if I can actually come up with an idea of how much a camel would be in this game. But usually livestock is relatively expensive, especially ones that can carry things. I think I have a price in mind.
Alistair.
I think there might be stats for one in one of the little Shadowdark zines that I got too. Would you like me to look that up for you?
Sure.
The desert one has camel stats and prices.
Okay, cool. Yeah. If you want to look it up and let me know, I'm happy to use the prices from the book. I do actually have the designs. I just don't know if I have them on file. What's it called?
It was the desert one. It's Red Sands.
Red Sands. Okay, I'm just gonna type that in my downloads and see if it comes up. Curse scroll to Red Sands. Got it.
Mounts. Camel. There's a
Yeah,
regular camel and a silver camel.
Oh shit, they got some fucking hex maps too. Nice. Okay, I might use one of these for a random encounter. That'd be quite fun, wouldn't it?
They also got like 3 different new classes in this book too. I don't know if I die ever, I might end up taking up one of those classes if you'd be willing to let me run it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And to be honest, guys, if you made an effort with your characters currently, I might let you respec your current characters.
I kind of like Norman as a ranger. I think it's fairly fitting.
Whatever floats your boat. I'm just saying, you know. What is it under? Mounts. There we go.
Mounts.
Oh yeah, camel! Fucking hell. Okay, good. I was thinking about 50 gold, so I'm glad. It says spooks. What does spooks mean? Oh, it means it gets spooks. It's got like morale issues. Okay. Cool. What were you gonna say, Duncan?
I was just going to ask Alistair, how many rations do you still have?
I have 4 left.
Alright, so we'll need to restock on those. And do we know how many torches we have left?
I have 1.
Do you have any torches, Norman?
Let me check. I got 2 torches, and I've got 1 day's rations left, so I should probably grab some rations.
Yep.
And
So...
yeah, go ahead.
I'm not sure if we have it.
Yeah, guys, if you want to buy anything, unless it's something that's expensive or interesting, if it's like rations or torches, you can just buy it from the book.
Okay, I've got 26 gold pieces. So does anybody want to help me pitch in for the other half of a camel, and we can just like load this thing up with goblin hands and bring it back to Sunstone.
I can spare 5 gold.
I can do 25.
Okay, 25. Alright, so...
We could both do 12.5.
Yeah, well, I'd like to keep a gold piece here. I'm gonna spend a gold piece on some rations, and then I think that's all I really need. So I have 25 gold pieces. I'd be able to contribute to this, and then if you two want to contribute 12.5, then we can get the go ahead on that. How much would saddlebags be for this, Loki, or does it come with saddlebags?
Is there any reference for that? Let's have a look.
Saddle
is 30 gold pieces. Doesn't make any... Pardon?
Sorry. I said a normal backpack is 2 gold if you want to base it on that.
No, I want to use it based on what it says. So mounts have a number of gear slots equal to 5 times their strength bonus. A rider and the rider's carried gear, such as backpack and worn items, occupy 10 slots. That's interesting. That's cool. So, like, you and all of your gear is equivalent to 10 slots for whatever the mount is carrying, basically, at any given time. But it's 5 times their strength bonus. Strength bonus? Is it not the strength modifier? I guess it's like the positive for their strength, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so a silver camel would be able to carry 15 slots worth of stuff.
It doesn't say anything about saddlebags in here, about how much they cost, which makes me very sad.
I mean, I ran them as like 5 to 10 gold pieces in my games, if you want to use that for reference.
Sure, yeah, sounds good. I'll say 5 gold for a saddlebag.
Okay, I am broke. Does anybody else want to buy the saddlebag?
You
How
said-
much
you
was
said,
it?
5.
5 gold.
5. I could buy. I could buy it.
If you want, I could too.
I've subtracted the gold.
All good. Alright, I have bought a pack, 6 rations, and 2 torches. And I'm left with 5 gold, if anyone needs anything.
All right. Do you guys want to go and find somebody to buy a camel from?
We'll do it on the
Yes,
morrow.
sir.
it seems like.
All right, yeah. So it's the following morning, guys, and you are introduced to Jim Bob. Jim Bob has 5 camels at his stead. He rents them out to merchants and traders to travel to and from Sunstone. Jim starts off the conversation quite simply by saying, "So you want a camel then? Is that what you're looking for here?
Yeah, that's what we are.
Boy or girl?"
Don't matter to me, whatever one sells cheaper.
So you want a cheap camel then?
I'll go through the prices and see the upsides and the downsides. What have you got for stock?
And he introduces you to his stock. He's got 3 boys, 2 girls, 5 camels in total. 4 of them are your basic camel. One of them is Camel Silver, which is a rare camel Jim Bob's got available to him. And he says, these camels can get you from hell to high water. If you want to be travelling around, this is the only way to travel. After all, horses don't do very well on the sands, or up in the hills either. But camels are far, far better. I'll give you this camel here for 50 gold pieces.
I take a look at it. Does it look healthy?
Yeah, looks good. It's got the humps.
Yep. I kind of motion to the rest of you guys. I take 25, a little bag full of 25 gold pieces, and I pass it over to the merchant, and I wave at everybody else to go and give him pay.
Hell yeah! Can you roll me a 2d6, please? So we can figure out this mount's personality, please.
Alrighty.
Yeah, every camel has a personality.
6.
So you kind of exchange the money, and you guys all kind of crowd round the camel, and it kind of gives you guys all a side eye as you're kind of looking at it. It looks big and strong. It looks like it's going to be able to carry all your equipment, and that makes you guys very, very excited. I'd like all of you guys to please roll me a charisma check. Let's see who rolls the lowest. Oh.
Can I roll with advantage? Because
That's
of
hilarious.
I have advantage with interacting with beasts.
Do you? Then you do.
Yes, yes, I do.
Then you do. Yeah.
Oh, he likes
Oh.
me.
So the camel turns and takes a shit on Alistair's shoes.
That's not very nice.
Oh, they're fickle beasts, old man. Fickle beasts. Come here, girl. Ah.
I moved away to a safe distance from the camel and tried to find something to clean it up.
Yeah, some straw, some hay.
Exactly.
No problem. So, it's worth mentioning, guys, there is one more thing you have the option to purchase. You obviously got, like, the bags, but you can also buy a saddle as well. You don't need one, but having a saddle gives the rider of the camel advantage on checks to stay mounted.
Well, I don't think any of us are gonna be riding her. I think we're just gonna be more of like leading her with like a lead.
More like a caravan than a mount.
Yeah, exactly. Especially since like riding her takes up like 10 of her slots, then she can only carry like 5 items. So yeah, let's just kind of like lead her around.
Okay, I'm looking for a stat block now. Give me a sec. Would you be
I
under
think it's on,
monsters?
like, yeah, it's like the first page on
Camel
monsters.
silver. Here we are. Yeah. I can't find just camel though.
I think the regular camel is just in the
Shadowdark book.
regular Shadowdark book. Just quickly checking.
It is, yeah. 10 AC, 12 hit points. It has an attack, a hoof attack, or a spit attack. That's amazing. Its movement is actually double near, which is amazing. It can move like 60 feet. It's strong. It's got a +3, so it can. It's what was it? It was times 5. Its strength bonus.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it can carry 15
Got
slots worth of stuff.
15 slots. And if you guys are using it just to carry like excess stuff that you guys want it to carry, then it will be very, very efficient. If one of you is on it, then unfortunately that does take up like 10 of the 15 slots. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It does. Yeah, no, we'll just like lead her around with like a rope.
Cool. All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do? Or are you happy? You got your camel. You got your saddlebags.
Got my food. I think I'm pretty happy to start getting going here if that's what everybody else would like to do.
Yeah, we've got the tools, we've got the equipment, we've got the spirit. Let's go kill some goblins.
Alrighty, guys. So I'm now going to give you guys a small break. This will give me a little bit of time just to prep what is going to be happening next. And I'm already halfway through. I've just been working on a dungeon scroll map as we've been talking and preparing things. It'll be ready in a couple of minutes, so feel free to have a bathroom break or whatever else. And we'll get started soon.
Radio. I'll let you know
Right.
when I'm back.
Be back in a minute.
Be right back.
So for anybody who's wandering in the chat right now, guys, I'm using Dungeon Scroll, and what I'm doing is I'm editing a map that I've used in the past for a different group. And I am recycling, which is really good as a DM. I've changed this map quite a bit already, and the idea is I'm adding some runes. Or ruins. Sorry, guys, I play too much WoW, and I'm kind of in WoW on the brain, getting confused between runes and ruins. But yeah, making some ruins right now, and I'm just kind of doing the walls, the block work right now, and I'm going to chip away at it, make it a little bit more like brick. But I've only got about 5 minutes, so I want to be very quick, and I want to have kind of pockets of different ruins kind of all over this space, and I want to include a couple of statues as well. I want to make this seem like it was once some sort of location of interest. I haven't really decided exactly what it is, but I'm thinking maybe a church or a temple that was destroyed could be cool. And the idea is we're going to have some nasties around here. But unfortunately, the rumor that they've got, guys, is false. And so this is a thing that can happen when you get rumors. They're not always true, but they will find something. It just won't be what they were looking for. So I'm quite interested to see how they react to that, and whether they ever trust me again as players. They probably won't. Right, let's add some statues as well. Make sure that we're kind of representing this place in the right way, and we're going to describe it as being kind of, some of these statues are half covered with sand, like they're kind of half buried. I like the idea of another one being over here. I want like a bit of higher ground too, like a platform or some sort of elevated area. I think we'll have it be here, and we'll have some stairs that kind of lead up to it. Why not? We'll draw these steps here. There you go, you can see those little steps that leads up. Nice. We'll just kind of create some high points, some interesting locations, some vantage points for the enemy as well. Whatever we can do to kind of make this more exciting for the players, you know? I want to have a few more interesting locations. I like the idea that this might be actually a high point, and how we're going to kind of represent that is I'm going to put like a line all the way around it. Be like, yeah, this is elevated ground. It's got this line. It kind of shows the depth of the land. It's a bit shit, but you know, it'll do. Same on this side as well. There we are. Yeah, just to show the elevation slightly. Anything else we should do? I'm going to add some more lines here. Cool. Should we add some more rocks, maybe? We're creating a battleground. We're creating a place where the players can kind of engage and interact. They can use cover. So I'm thinking maybe some more terrain. So I'm actually going to use my other rocks, and I'm going to represent this as being like bigger, like taller stone. Oh, that's actually a really good idea. So what we'll do is we'll actually do it right here. And you can actually now see that there's two different types of grey, so that can represent like actual height. Maybe we do that for this as well. We're just, rather than deleting it, I'm just going to do this again. And now we've got an elevated platform. That's nice. Part of this rock wall is elevated, which means it can be used as cover. Nice. Can I can't really do, like, unless I do a polygon, I can't really do diagonal stuff, can I? No, I can't. But I can do this, and this looks quite haphazard and cool. I like that a lot. We'll do some other rocks here, just to kind of give it a bit more depth. You can see that I'm just, I'm doing this very quickly, guys. As you can imagine, we don't really have a lot of time to do this, and this should really show you guys that doing this kind of prep doesn't really take that long. You just gotta, put the time in, I suppose. The only thing I'm really thinking about right now is, do we want there to be any treasure? Do we want the players to be able to find some stuff? And if so, what should we give them? And I think obviously I might use the treasure. The treasure D100s. Stuff that they could find. As you can see now, we're turning it into bricks rather than just like a sheer wall, and it's looking just a little bit more realistic. There you are. Cool. We're running out of time, so I'm going to put the last minute details. Going to very quickly just try and do this. If you guys would like this map to be available, just let me know. I can put it on the Patreon for you guys. I mean, it's not like the biggest work of art, but if you like these kind of styles of maps, you know, feel free to use it for your own games, because honestly, it gets more use than just being in mine. I love that idea. Sounds really fun. Okay, I'm gonna rejoin the Discord and see if they are back now.
Like I go and like have ran at grizzly bears before, so it's like
That's
not
exactly,
really.
yeah.
Yeah, like you guys have your own problems, we have our problems. It's like, well, if you know how to deal with them, then you know how to deal with them. Of course, if like I'm terrified at the thought of like having a fucking tarantula in my room, bro, I'd fucking flip shit.
I'd be terrified to come across an emu. Emu is like demon.
You've seen, okay, this gets me every single
The Great
time.
War, bro. The Great War of the Emu War.
That's not it. Half of that was fake. Okay. People talk about cassowaries, which are the big blue ones, right?
Right.
You know, and they're like, oh, if it kicks you, it'll put a hole in your stomach. You know, if you're within like a mile or a kilometer of a cassowary, and you sneeze, that thing is gonna run so fast in the other direction. It's not funny. They're they're cowards.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with like bears. Unless they have their young around them, then you need to be fucking careful. You're gonna want a gun on you if they have their younglings around them.
Don't worry, I'll use my pellet gun. Oh wait, I'm not allowed to own those in Australia. God damn it.
Right, bro.
We're pretty close behind you. We are pretty close behind you.
The Australian government, what's that, a Nerf gun? Okay, you can own that.
Alright, I am almost done now, guys. And then we can get started. I appreciate your patience, guys.
So, gee, man. Did you pause the stream? What happened there?
No problem.
Didn't pause the stream.
Oh, so we've just been... Okay.
No, I've been talking to the stream. I muted myself and I've just been talking to the stream.
Oh, alright. Fair enough.
But I'd like you guys to not join because I have stuff on the stream right now that you shouldn't be seeing yet.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, no. It'd tank my internet anyway.
Good. I mean, not good, but good.
Well, I mean, it's also just because I live on the opposite side of the world from everything else. So, you know.
Yeah. How do you guys like feel like standing upside down all the time? By the way, like how does that work?
Oh yeah, dude, it's sick, man. You know, you constantly have the blood rush into your head. You got to put a ground harness on. You know.
Yeah, man. It sounds so you're just like constantly like doing a whippet or something, like that's how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's this kind of bigotry that the reason why I left America. No, I swear to God, I went to America for a month. Dude, by the end of it, I was ready to fight the next person who mentioned Crocodile Dundee to me. Like, I was...
like every time I go to America and I mention that I'm Canadian, they're like, "Oh, like, do you guys have like power up there? Like, how's it living in an igloo? Like, you ride a moose to work type shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I actually do. My moose's name is Jeb. He's fucking sick."
It's that old Jim Carrey skit. Canada, huh? Must be cold. Ah, yes. Me and my friend Nantuck have to build igloos to hide from roaming moose and flying hockey pucks.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that, like really far up north, but most people in Canada like live like right next to the U.S. border. Like you start
Yeah.
going up like further, and it starts getting really fucking cold really quick.
Alright, guys, I am ready to rock
Alrighty, sweet.
And roll.
and roll. Yeah, maybe. And so, how many rations have you guys got, by the way?
I've got
got 7 days.
Are you buying rations for the camel, or do you want the camel to die?
I'm broke.
I am trolling, by the way. Sorry, I shouldn't troll and say stupid things. Yeah, so camels need to eat a lot of food. Warm-blooded mounts must consume rations equal to their base level each day. So, a camel is level 2. They need 2 rations a day.
Okay.
So, it's assumed that you guys are traveling to a location that is what? 1 hex away? You'll be there in half a day.
Yeah, I've got food for the camel then.
Yeah, sweet.
Okay. So you've got 2 rations for the camel.
Yep. I've got 7 rations. I've got a
Very
week's
good.
worth of rations.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, I won't gonna do it now, but I'll do it after the session. Is I'm gonna make a camel sheet that you guys all have access to, and you're gonna be able to edit its inventory and add inventory stuff to it. And it's just another way for you to be able to track stuff. You do that, or you can obviously use like a document or something to track it. But just the idea of having a sheet sounds pretty cool, because obviously you have all the gear slots on there as well, don't you? So.
Yep.
Sounds
The
cool.
camel's name is Susan, by the way. That's what we
Susan,
decided.
Susan the camel. Nice. Good stuff. Well, make a note of that. Alright, sounds like you guys are ready to go.
Alrighty. Let's get this show on the road.
How many other rations are you carrying, Alistair?
I have 4.
I can carry 2 of those now.
Alrighty, guys. So with that in
Oh,
mind,
wait, I have 5, but I could give you. There were 2 of them that were yours, so I could give them to you if you want.
I can also give you
Okay.
1 because I have 1 that's just taking up one of my slots, and that way you'll have 3.
Alrighty, guys. 1 second, actually. I just thought of something really cool. Oh, I really want to do it now. Alright, guys, don't hate me. I literally need 1 minute.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
I've just got an amazing idea for what might happen. It's worth mentioning, you know, my games, what may happen might not happen, right? But just having something available like this, I think would be really cool. So just give me a sec.
Hey, Alistair.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Piss quick.
This quick who?
Piss quick, your pants are on fire. You get it?
Help?
You get. You get. I learned that from a movie called Hey Good Looking. You seen it?
I've
I
seen
haven't.
clips from it, but I really want to watch it. I really like the guy who made that movie. He also made the old
Ralph Bakshi.
Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Ralph Bakshi.
Yeah.
Dude, you can
Oh
find
yeah,
it.
he's a guy from Wizards.
Yeah. Dude, you can find it on YouTube. Literally. Whole movie on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I've been meaning to watch it, but I kind of like put it out of my mind after the whole like meme kind of came out with it.
Oh, yeah. Mongolian
Oh,
techno. You know, it's a sick movie, man.
Yeah. It's directors like that kind of like have been inspiring me to like want to get into filmmaking. I really want to do kind of like a rotoscope style kind of thing, like a little like
Oh, dude.
animated short or something like that about like dungeon delving.
That is what the movie industry needs. You know, a solid writer with a solid fantasy, you know, sort of idea to come forward and sort of blast the some of the corporate modern stuff out of the water, you know.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking of like just like, filming everything and like you know what rotoscoping is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like just doing it and just having like the whole thing black and white, just kind of like rough sketches. I was thinking like the first project I could do would be like a music video for my buddy who like is an aspiring DJ. He makes like a lot of house music. And
Fucking
I think
sick.
it would be like really cool to do like a short little music video where a bunch of these adventurers like go into a cave and all die horrible deaths, or like one of them like comes out with like a big handful of treasure or something like that.
Yeah, man, sounds awesome.
Alright, guys. I am good to go.
Let's waste no time.
Alrighty.
Let's waste no time at all. So, with that in mind, you guys now set out from Sunstone back into the arid, harsh wasteland that is the barrens around it. But you're heading not too far from your new home to a collection of ruins that you've heard are rumoured to have goblins in. Seems as if it'll be an easy victory for you all, but you've come prepared for spoils, with Susan in tow. I'd like Norman to roll me an intelligence check with advantage as you're navigating the party towards your destination.
Ooh. That's no good.
I'm gonna give you a luck point.
Okay, you may
Alright,
roll
thank
one
you.
more dice.
That might be able to go, sir.
You now press forward. I'm gonna roll a check privately.
By the way, Loki, the music's not coming through for me.
Is it not?
No.
You
it's
sure?
not.
It's coming through for me. You might have to refresh.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I
just
hear it well.
then.
I've
Alright,
turned it
never
up.
mind.
I've even turned it up a bit now. So, yeah, this will do. As you guys now lead Susan through this harsh terrain, you find ahead that the terrain goes from being flat to a bit uneven, and you look for a safe way to continue. It seems your navigator is doing a good job. What are the rest of you guys doing whilst you are travelling? Yeah, the question to the party. What are you guys doing? You're not just standing there, are you?
I'm trying to
Duncan's-
bond with the camel.
Trying to bond with the camel?
I don't want it to shit on me again.
It might, you know.
Duncan's probably swinging around his weighted club and admiring his new armor. Well, not new armor, but upgraded armor. Feeling pretty chuffed with himself.
I'm gonna coordinate with Norman on leading everybody to take the best path and keeping everybody efficient.
Okay. So, as you guys kind of come to a pause for a moment, you drink a bit of your water and prepare to proceed ahead. Suddenly, you notice something. Two eyes looking at you from the nearby rocks. A lion seems to be glaring at you all. And upon you noticing it now violently retorts by roaring in your direction, pacing backwards and showing you his fangs and his claws. This seems to be a powerful male lion. He seems rearing for a fight. What do you do?
Norman, tame it. Like Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm going to try to like kind of like move past it, and I should really be carrying a whip on me for these kinds of situations. Kind of just at this point here, I'm going to strike a torch, and I'm going to start like lighting anything flammable around me on fire. In
It
hopes
is
to like scare it off.
It is daytime.
Yep.
So you're going to light a torch, and you're now going to wave it in the creature's direction. Are you making a lot of noise? Are you shouting?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Gonna try to
Alright.
scare it off.
Make a charisma check against the lion.
Advantage for dealing with animals?
Sure.
Sweet.
Hey.
Alrighty.
The lion seems poised. He appears hungry. Perhaps he believes Susan would be a suitable meal for him. But your sharp words and the swing of your torch brings the creature to recoil and pull back. It seems this lion is one of many creatures of this land. It seems today it will not attack.
Alright, sweet. I just move everybody past, and I keep my eye on this thing, just kind of like protecting the caravan. If it like tries to come like near to me at all, I'm just going to like toss it a rash and then go on my way.
Alright. With that in mind, we now approach the early afternoon. You've been travelling for the last few hours, and you realise that you are lost. It seems you have not gone the way that you had hoped, and you're not too sure where you are. What would you like to do?
Are there any trees around that I might be able to climb to sort of survey the landscape?
The area itself doesn't have many trees. This is a kind of vast plains. So no. Trees are
Well,
few and far between, and the trees that are here do not grow very tall.
It seems as if we will just have to keep trying to find our way. Unless anyone else has got any ideas.
I'm gonna look around and see if I can see the hills that we've been to before.
Cool. So you want to take over navigation?
No, I just want to see if I can spot the hills.
Roll me a wisdom check. Spotting. You take a bit of a walk away from the party and go in a direction that you think is appropriate to get a better view. You do get the sense that perhaps you're not too far away from your destination. You just need to go a bit more south.
All right. Do you convey that info to Norman?
Norman, we need to go south.
Okay. Norman trusts Isabel, so he's going to start like looking around and trying to find his way to the southern area.
Alright, roll me another navigation check. It's worth mentioning, guys, just for reference, if you stay on a road, you never get lost. Obviously. So, when you go off-road, you can get lost quite easily if you fail. 15. Good.
Yep.
You waste time, but you now get the impression you're on the right track, Norman, and that's a big relief. But the day is now going by, and evening fastly approaches. There is still sun, but the sun is beginning to dissipate, beginning to go, and dim light feeds across the land. You now approach the ruins. But you're not there just yet. You're very close though. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I think we should set up like a safe place kind of out of the way for Susan. And maybe we should just start doing some surveillance of the place and start scouting out the location.
I agree. We should set up a camp, at least a retreat too, and to keep Susan safe.
All right, let's get to work.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
So, what do you guys want to do by camp? Like, what do you mean? What's the goal?
Well, maybe we could find a secluded spot, maybe some upturned boulders or something, to sort of nestle into. Or perhaps a patch of trees. I know you said there weren't many trees, but you know, maybe there are some errant savanna trees standing about.
Yeah, so rocks. You can definitely find rocks to set up a position at. You can also find high ground, and you can also find low ground that is, you know, difficult to see unless you're very close to it. That makes sense, like a big ditch.
All right. Would it be safe to assume that the high and low ground are close to each other?
Relatively, I mean, not right next to each other, but in a
Yep.
similar region, similar area.
All right. How about we set up camp in the low ground whilst going up to the high ground in order to spy down on the ruins?
I like this plan.
And
So
if
you wanna-
anything spots us, we retreat down to the low ground.
Okay. So you set up your bedrolls and put stuff down that you don't need to really carry. That's anything. Do you guys want to investigate the camp tonight? Or sorry, the ruins tonight?
Oh, you may as well.
Yeah, may as well.
Before it gets dark.
Preferably before, yeah, exactly, before it gets dark.
Yes, indeed.
Alright. So you kind of hitch up Susan to a rock, give her a bit of food, and now head out. It's worth mentioning the ruins you believe are a stone's throw away. You've already seen bits of like derelict wall in the area, so you know that you're in the area of this collection of ruins. You just need to like kind of delve a bit deeper. Think of it the same way you see a dungeon, right? Maybe just 120 feet away, the ruins could be there. So It's not going to take long for you guys to get there. Is there anything you guys want to do on your approach?
Let's try to be stealthy and have Norman lead the way.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll go for that.
Alright. You can each roll me a dex check then. I assume you're all moving as a collective mass. It's not like one of you off ahead scouting or anything.
This is why I wear leather armor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay behind because I have plate armor.
Okay, you're going to stay how far behind?
I'll just stay back at the camp for now and watch Susan, and then wait for them to report back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to. I have advantage on stealth, so I guess the chainmail kind of cancels that out.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Is Alistair going?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, pretty solid.
So, the three of you guys now approach, and you realise that you're on high ground, but you're not on the highest ground. There actually are some cliffs nearby. You could try and climb them. It would be a little bit risky. You could hurt yourself. You could scrape your knee. But if you were to get up there, it would give you a very good vantage point.
Yeah, I'll try to start climbing that area.
Okay, I will say there is no opposing force, so it is just a standard strength check. Climb.
I think Duncan will leave it with you.
Ooh, 9.
Oh, okay. So that's not high enough.
You do
So-
have a luck point.
You do have a luck point. You could use it.
Nah, I'm
Or-
gonna save that for later.
Alrighty then. So you climb a fair bit of the way up, but you lose your grip and scrape your knee as you fall and hit the ground. This is quite a drop. Enough of a drop that could kill a normal man. I'd like you to throw me a d4. Mark it from your health. 1 point. I'm glad it was 1. Makes a lot of sense. DC was 12 for that challenge, so you didn't fail by a lot.
Alrighty, just bang.
One, just a scraped knee, and you get the impression that it's not going to be easy to climb. You also kind of glance over, trying to make sure that nobody heard that, because it was quite loud. Do you want to try again, or do you want to just remain on this ground?
Does anybody here have rope? Because I have a grappling hook.
Oh, I was considering buying it too. No, I don't.
I don't have it anymore.
At least one person should be having one of those. Ah, damn. We forgot one of the essentials. Oh well. I guess we could try again in a minute here.
You're competing against a light right now. The sun is beginning to set.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to climb it one more time.
Okay, roll me a strength check. You got it?
Sweet.
Climb yourself to the top. Now you put yourself into a better position. You look down upon the ruins. You don't know what the collection of ruins represent. Maybe it's a homestead, like a collection, like a small hamlet. Maybe it's a grand building, like a temple, or a camp of some sort. But it's stone, it's brick that you see, these ruins, and they seem to be half buried under the sands and the dirt. And what you notice is surprising. It does not appear that the rumor was correct. There aren't goblins here. There are orcs here.
Ooh.
There are several of them. There are several of them. They also seem to have a pet Looks like a wolf. It's worth
Would I
mentioning
kn-
that the men are quite spread out, the orcs. And let me, you know what? I can actually, I'm pretty sure with Roll20, I can specifically have you on the map. So I'm going to do that.
Sweet.
Give me 1 second. Where's your name? Norman.
Would Norman know what a warg is?
I think so. And if you don't know what a warg is, I mean, you definitely know what a wolf is. It looks like a very nasty ass looking wolf. Sake of purpose, Norman is on the up on the bottom right. Probably
Okay.
like laying down, kind of peering over the edge of the cliffs, looking down upon all of these people, or sorry, all of these orcs. I will say there is one thing that stands out to you. Two humans seem to be in this area. They seem to be... They don't look very good. They're in rags. They appear to be slaves to these orcs.
Hmm. All right. Do I see any like that are like patrolling the outskirts, like further away from this area, or does this appear to be the whole camp?
Roll me a wisdom check for a spot. See what you spot.
Meh, 6.
You don't see any more. This seems to be the entire group. And to be honest, it makes a lot of sense. This is what you would expect from an orc, like slave party, like war party. The one you fought, you know, a few weeks ago was quite a large one, but this is what you would normally expect on the roads and stuff like that.
All right, we are going to have to be very careful here. I'm going to crawl on back to the camp. Do I
I'm down the
see
rocks.
anything up here that might be able to be used as rope that I could kind of like tie to a rock up here?
That's a big ask. I'm gonna say roll a d6. You roll a 6. There's rope. There's no rope.
Nah. All right, I'm gonna slide on down the side of the cliff away from the encampment, and then I am going to go back and report what I've just seen.
Okay, so can you roll me a strength check to climb back down?
Uh-oh.
Roll me a d4.
Can I catch him?
Oh, okay. Roll me a strength check. Roll a 15 or higher, and you'll catch him.
Does grit apply?
It does. He's an opposing force.
Alright. He's 1 and 2.
You got him.
No nat 20, but 17.
You managed to catch him, and he takes no damage.
No, thank you, kid. And Norman like slaps Duncan on the back. Oh, Jesus, that's fucking sheer. All right.
When we
Is everybody else also looking at this map too, or is this just me?
It's just them. So tell them what you see.
Yeah, so there's a couple buildings. I could see about, let's see here. There's about 8 of them kind of spread out a lot around the ruins, and then there's this weird wolf thing. I'm pretty sure it's a warg, but not entirely sure. There's two slaves up to the far north, being held captive. And they're all spread out around a few different buildings. We might be able to take them out in a stealthy manner. But if we blow our cover, we're probably gonna get jumped, and we're probably either gonna have to retreat or most likely die.
I will say one thing very quickly for you, Norman. You see how there's different types of grey on the bricks and the stones? So the light grey represents half cover, and dark grey represents full cover, things that you can hide behind. So this is these walls are, some of the walls are actually quite high, some of them are not.
Yeah. As you get further up north, the harder it's going to be to kind of take people out. But there is an area that is fairly close, where two of them reside. The only problem is the warg is in that area. So if we want to take them out that way, we're going to probably have to coordinate that really well and roll really well and be on our game. Norman is going to spend the rest of the night until he needs to go to sleep trying to find obsidian and sticks to build some spears with.
Okay. So no plans to attack tonight.
I don't think it'd be a good idea.
Okay, well let's hope you don't get attacked in the night. You all in agreement? Don't attack tonight? Wait until tomorrow?
Should we wait till tomorrow, or maybe it might be a better idea to kind of get the jump on them now?
Yeah, and I'm thinking if the warg might not be threatening if we gang up on it. You know?
Yeah, but he's right beside two other orcs. So that, like, we each need to take one of them out.
I reckon it's possible.
Maybe you should sneak around to the north, Norman, and break out the slaves. And maybe they could help support us.
I wonder perhaps, Duncan, that's an alright idea, but could we maybe set up some kind of distraction?
I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to let anyone know that we are here, that there's something about, because then they're just going to alert everybody, and if everybody's alerted, then we're really screwed.
Yeah.
Well, we're going
Oh, I shouldn't wear my armor?
Well, no, I think that you should definitely wear your armor, but you should just stay a little further behind the rest of us. I'm kind of debating whether or not I should wear my armor, because if I'm wearing my armor, then if I'm not wearing my armor, then I get advantage on stealth rolls, and that might be more useful at this point. Yeah, I think Norman's just going to doff the chainmail.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's see here. I should probably start carrying around a set of leather with me. Yeah, so I'm doffing the chainmail, and then maybe I should start. Let's start.
I will say, guys.
Let's start taking out the. Let's start with taking out the orcs next to the warg, and let's start positioning ourselves in a way that we could ambush all of them at once.
I need you guys to be a bit quicker with deciding. So And if
Right.
you guys all agreed.
Yep, let's do it.
Yes.
Okay. Because if we do it right now, I'll let you do this combat before we finish the session. But if it takes any longer, I'll have to do it next week.
Ready up.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
You're all
Let's
going to
add
go
to the
together?
banger.
You're all going together then? As a group?
Yep.
Yes.
Who's going to be at the front? Who's going to be at the back?
I think I should be at the front.
Okay.
I should be somewhere at the back, I think.
Okay. Who wants to be second?
Probably Duncan.
Sure.
And then you want me to hang back?
Yeah, you hang back with the wizard because you're wearing the heavy plate.
And if anything pops off, then I'll charge in.
Yeah, just stay close behind us, but further away. So, yeah, I'm gonna start moving up towards, like up here, and try to hide behind those walls.
I'm going to bring everybody to the map now. Alright, can everybody see the map?
Mm-hmm.
There are more targets, but based on your current, where you guys are located, you can't see anything else. What you can see, these two orcs and a warg. I'd like each of you guys to please roll me a dex check for stealth. To see if you are going to actually move up or not.
Oh no, Alistair.
I'm going to use my luck points.
Oh.
Okay. You each have a surprise round. Norman, you're first.
Okay. I will start by moving up. 1, 2, 3. Wait, no. Over here. Over.
Okay, so you sneak up and you crouch behind the wall. It does provide cover to you, so they can't see you.
Perfect.
Then your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for the rest of the party to kind of get a little closer to me.
Yeah. You guys are currently still in stealth, and your stealth hasn't been broken yet. This is allowing you to get into position. You can attack as well, which will initiate the combat. But you could also just move and roll another dex check next round to see if you can get a surprise next round instead. That makes sense. This is like Splinter Cell, Hitman 47 type stuff. You guys sneaking around. Duncan, you're next. What do you want to do?
Right. Move up here. That's me done.
Alright. Isabel.
If I stay still, do I have to roll another dex check?
If you stay where you are, you don't have to roll anything.
Okay, I'm gonna stay where I'm at for now.
Alright, Alistair.
I'll also stay here.
Alrighty. Duncan, Norman. Another dex check. You both succeeds. Norman, Duncan, as I assume you guys are acting as one, what do you both want to do? Simultaneously.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We can both get within range of the warg. I reckon we both run up and try to crush it.
But then we're gonna be doing that right in front of the two orcs over there. I feel like we need the rest of the party to move up so we can deal with these all at once. Because if we don't deal with them all at once, the alarm's gonna be raised.
Oh, I don't know. I think we should jump them, or at
I will
least
say,
hit the
guys,
orcs.
in 4 rounds' time, the sun will set. And it will be dark.
Well, we need to have everybody with us to be able to properly do this, or we're gonna get jumped and we're gonna get screwed.
Yeah, and they'll catch up.
Yeah, but then all the other orcs around the area are going to come to us. There's like 4 more, like 6 more of them. So I think I'm going to try to move on over to here and try to do that quickly so nothing sees me.
What route are you looking to take?
I am looking to take
Okay.
kind of squeeze between
Yeah.
the mound and that wall.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Roll me a dex check as you run over.
Natural 20.
You make it.
Okay. I'm gonna take on the same approach, but go a different way. Go.
Be aware.
5.
If one of you fails, your jig's up. Combat starts.
Oh, if that's the case, I'm gonna stay
Right now,
here and test. Sorry.
You're really well positioned right now. Yes, a couple of you guys have a really good opportunity to get a surprise off. Yeah, Duncan, what do you want to do?
All right, I'll just take one step this way, so I'm a bit closer, and then I'll gesture to the other guys to start moving in.
Okay. Isabel, Alistair, do you want to move in?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? Worth mentioning, in that position, you are out in the open. You'll have disadvantage. Well, actually, to be fair, I don't think it'll be. I think you've already got disadvantage. I think the DC will go up a lot on your dex check.
Just go behind the wall where we were at.
Otherwise, the warg's got line of sight in this position, as you can see. You don't want to be in a position where they've got line of sight, because it raises the DC, the challenge to. You're not competing against a contested check. I think contested rolls are stupid. And are very arbitrary. I like to set DCs. If you're doing something that I think is reasonable, you get into a location that's reasonable, DC is going to be 9 or 12, yeah? But if it's hard, or it's a difficult thing to try and pull off, DC is 15 or 18. Okay, guys?
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
You're both moving up. That's pretty reasonable. You're all in position. Are you ready to go?
Yep. Norman's going to roll over the wall and try to hack the head off the warg.
Oh yeah. 1 second. Fucking sick. Oh shit, so I'm pretty sure you got advantage, because you're surprising.
Okay, sick.
Oh, bloody hell. So with that in mind, you come over the wall, you go for a swing, and you just haphazardly miss. You strike the statue instead, and a part of the statue breaks off. The warg immediately kind of turns towards you, kind of snapping in your direction. As Duncan, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Alright, I'm gonna 5, 10, 15, 20. Hit one of these orcs.
Go for it.
Go club. 13.
You got advantage.
Alright, I'll go again. How's it? 5 damage for a 23.
Oh, well done. Dennis, you done,
Yep,
right?
that's me. Yep, that's me good. I could move a bit more, but I'm fine here.
so like, what do? You run up, where you swing with your club, where do you hit?
Yeah, he runs up and brings it squarely to the large jaw of the orc.
Nice. All right,
Making
Isabel.
use of the waistband.
I'm gonna move here and I'm gonna swing at that other orc that's at full health.
Good stuff. Go for it. Nice. 3 points of damage.
Oh, roll again. It might be a crit.
Yeah, it could be a crit. It's not, but still the same damage. Well done. Alistair, over to you.
Yes, I move up a little bit closer, and I want to cast a magic missile at the front orc.
Go for it. Nice, that hits. 1 point of damage. How do you finish him?
As Duncan smacks him against the jaw with his reinforced mallet club, the orc turns around to face me, and I shoot the magic missile right against his nose.
Cool. With that in mind, the orcs now all kind of recoil, realizing you're attacking them. They they draw their weapons, ones of them that can, and the combat now officially starts. I want you guys to click on your tokens, roll initiative for me, please. Thanks, guys.
Oh, I got a sexual 3.
Sexual free, okay.
Oh no.
That 20
Oh,
for the
and
walk.
I'm gonna use
Purposely.
I'm gonna use a luck point on that right there.
Okay, guys.
You wanna know what? No, I'm yeah, no, I need to use that luck point. That's not much better. Shit.
I rolled 2 twice. I literally rolled 2 twice. Okay. Very cool. That's that. Alrighty, guys. Top of the round, it's now the warg's turn, and it snaps around towards you, Norman, and he's gonna leap in and try and bite you and kind of tear into your leg. I'd like you to roll me a block check, please. He hits. He deals 1d6 damage. Three points of damage to you as he manages to bite into your leg. Your armor is not as thick as it could have been. You're wearing chainmail, and unfortunately, you take a lot of damage. End of his turn. Over to Alistair.
I magic missile the remaining orc, trying to finish it off, so the rest can focus on the warg.
Go for it.
12.
Oh, 12 does miss. And I like the idea that the orc grabs hold of Isabel and tries to put her in the way of your magic missile, and it kind of forces you to make it miss, and it smashes into the stonework.
Alright.
In Savage Tongue, the one next to Isabel is shouting, "Help! Help! I'm being attacked!" Norman.
I am going to try to finish off the mutt that just bit me.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
roll 20.
nice. Yeah, roll another dice. Another d8. It's a crit. 9 points of damage. The big swing. But unfortunately, it's not enough. You slice it across the side. You deal a huge amount of damage. It's bleeding heavily. But it's still standing. And you are shocked, Norman. This is a very powerful beast.
Shite.
I know. Isabel.
I'm gonna kick off of the orc to give Alistair a better line of sight, and I'm gonna swing at the warg.
Ooh. That hits. How do you finish off the walk?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut off one of its legs as I come over, and then I'm gonna stab it through its back.
Nice. Skew it, and it squeals as it drops to the ground. It's dead. You move over to the orc.
I'm gonna move there.
Very good. Now over to Duncan.
Alright. Let's go. How's a 21 for 4 damage?
Hell yeah, you got him. How do you finish him?
Crush in the skull.
Nice, well done.
Alright, now that that's done, Duncan whispers to everyone, "Run! We have to get out of here."
Go for some hit and run tactics. I like that idea.
Alright,
Yeah,
and then
well,
I'll
let's-
use... I moved 5 feet, so then I'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 back this way.
Very cool.
You'll
All right.
go-
Yeah, I'm going to dash down as far as I can. So
You
that'd
ain't-
be-
You ain't doing shit, bro. It's not your turn.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
What the fuck? Many orcs moving up. This one's gonna dash, climb over the rocks.
Oh shit.
You're gonna die!
The other one is actually going to throw a hand axe at Duncan, who's within line of sight.
Alright,
Duncan,
block check.
before he does this, he roars. He's going to go into a rage, and he hits you with his hand axe. He deals
Damage
a,
is mine. Sorry.
he deals a d6 points of damage.
Damage is -1.
It is.
Alright, sorry. D6.
Yeah, you
Boom.
guys roll your
Okay.
damage. You guys kill yourselves. I don't kill you. You take 5 points, but because he's raging, I need to put the icon on him. You actually take additional damage. It's a d4 points of damage, and this is added to the attack, basically.
Alright, so I'll put myself back to that, and I'll roll the damage, and I'll total it. Okay, so we have 8 minus 1 is 7.
Yep.
So the difference between 12 and 7, 4 to 8, and then so it's 5. Damn.
It's a hefty hit, but your leather is sturdy and well boiled, strong, resilient. It's working. Alright, 3 rounds left. Warg is dead. Over to Alistair.
I attack the orc that's threatening Isabel. For 1 damage.
Very good.
And I start making my way back a bit.
Norman.
I am also going to move up and swing at this orc.
Cool. Go for your swing. That misses.
That's a miss.
Rest in peace. Anything else?
After missing, I think I am going to also start retreating. So 5,
Sweet.
10, 15, 20, 25.
Well done. Over to Isabel.
I'm gonna turn around and swing at this one.
Hell yeah. Go for it. 15 hits. How do you finish off the orc?
I just turn around and cut his head off.
Nice. Anything else? You pull back.
Yep, I'm gonna move over here.
Duncan?
Okay. Seeing that she's done that, although I'm pretty hurt.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I'm seriously tempted to try and take this guy out.
I think we should. We've kind of got like a little bit of
Yeah.
a kill spot right here, and it's just
fine.
him. We could jump this dude.
Move up here. Heroically go for the club. 15 for 6 damage.
Duncan. How do you want to do this?
Alright, once again, characteristically, there is a spray of red as Duncan brutally brings down his weighted club upon the orc's skull.
Amazing. Well done.
Scene from an 80s slasher film.
Hell yeah.
And then I will and then I will move 5 feet this way.
Sweet.
That's me.
You're-
I say we press it. We've got these guys. I say we press this.
Just wait and see. Oh crap.
They both come around the corner, notice you, and they both throw hand axes in your direction. Actually, no, one of them's a hand axe, the other one's throwing a javelin. I want you to roll me 2 block checks. The DC is 12.
Alright, here's the first one. Well,
Yep.
that's a block. Second one. 4.
How do you block him? What happens?
He raises his crude shield and catches them both.
Nice. I'm gonna ask you to roll a D6. You roll a 1, 2, or 3. The shield breaks.
Alright. Ooh.
Shield's good. Holding up. Well done. Alright. It's now 2 rounds remaining until it gets dark. And Alistair, you have the initiative. What do you want to do?
Signature move, another magic missile on the front orc.
Pew! That fails. Yeah, that fails.
That fails.
It's 10 plus 1, isn't it? 11.
Yes, it's 11.
Yep. You no more magic missile.
No
Gone.
more magic missile.
Damn.
I know, Ripperoonie, man. That was actually good damage too. Norman.
I would like to move up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, I'm going to move up and try to strike this orc with my bastard sword.
15 hits, 6 points of damage. How do you one-shot the orc? How do you do it, Norman? Hello?
Norman?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm going to just stab him in the throat and then kick him off the blade.
What are you saying sorry for? What happened?
I just keep on forgetting that I'm on talk. Press
Okay.
to talk.
Yeah, push it all.
And then I'm going to move on back.
Very cool. Isabel. What do you want to do, Isabel?
I'm just gonna move here and end my turn. If I can take some kind of defensive action, I'll do that, but I don't know if you're allowing that.
I'm not allowing that right now, but I will say, guys, the only thing that's going to limit you in this game is your own creativity. I'm going to give you an example. When you get enough money, consider doing training. You could train to be a better fighter. I could give you a special move.
Alright.
That makes sense? I could give you a defensive action, for example.
Fair enough. Alright.
Yeah,
D-Man's turn. Well, no time like the present. I'm gonna rush up and try and give him a good wumping.
Oh,
Okay.
Duncan's a maniac. You may try.
Alright, come on. Huh.
Ah,
That's 12.
your luck has ended.
Damn. Okay, fair enough. But I'm keeping him busy.
You are keeping him busy, but it is his turn now. And he is going to swing at you as he goes into a rage.
Oh crap. Alright, bring it on, loser. What do you think you can hit this?
So he's got a big club, and he brings it back and goes, "You're dead!" And he swings. Roll me a block check.
Alright, block. That's a 20.
Nice. How do you
I
block
block
it?
it with my own club.
No, nice. Crack as they smash together. That is him done. At this point, guys, all of the noise has made a commotion.
Oh crap.
I have added something to the initiative just to stress you guys out. 1 round remaining.
I think there are 2 more around here. Alistair, if you could spark a torch, that would be helpful.
Here's your turn, Alistair.
Not going to spark a torch. I'm going to set my staff alight with magical light,
Go for it.
which failed.
It does fail. Anything else?
I just move a bit closer, but
Cool. Over to Norman.
no light.
No light.
All right, Norman is going to move up and try to kill this orc.
Hey.
There we go.
You finished the orc. How do you do it?
I'm just going to bring my the hand with my shield over to the back of his head, and then just shank him with the long end of the bastard sword like it were a knife, just repetitively, and then let him fall.
Sounds good. Over to Isabel.
Sorry, I was checking the map to see if I could see anything.
Yeah. You see nothing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna close in with Duncan and Norman.
I will say, with enough of you guys being in that position, you guys can now visibly see these ones. The only person who can't is Alistair.
Alright.
Okay.
I'll start moving towards them then.
Sounds good.
Are you wielding a shield, Isabel?
Nope, I have plate armor.
Do you want to light a torch? Because you're not using your action for anything else? If you want.
I don't have a torch on me.
Oh, crap. Alright, fair enough.
Suddenly, Alistair, two orcs come rushing in. And they think they might have noticed you, but they're not too sure. They're going to end their turn.
Okay.
So it is now top of the round. Is it your turn, Duncan?
I think, yeah. I'm right at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, Norman and Isabel. You two deal with these guys. I'm gonna go save Alistair. 10,
Alright.
15, 25, 30. Alright. Duncan, coming in. Online. Let's do this. Club. Oh no! Oh! Okay.
A natural one. So with that in mind, you come running in. The orc crouches down, picks you up onto his shoulders, and is going to try and just like fucking attitude adjustment you, like fucking John Cena does. So I want you to roll me. I want you to roll me an strength check, contested.
Alright.
See who rolls higher.
Here's number 1. That's a 10. At number 2. That's it. Okay, I got a 10. Ow.
Lobs you to the other side, and you're now prone on the ground.
Fair enough.
And you realise, guys, Duncan is in a really bad spot now. He could die.
Don't worry, I got this.
I think we should go and help Duncan at this point.
I
It is-
agree.
It is now dark, everybody.
Oh shit.
You guys now each have dim light, which is going to make this fight a lot more difficult, but a lot more interesting. All right, that should be all of you guys. Can you all see? Can you all see a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can also see other people's dim light vision. Is that intentional?
That's not intentional, no. Probably because you guys have access to each other's sheets still. Actually, you don't, so you shouldn't really be able to see each other's.
Are you doing it as light? Or night vision.
It should be just dim light. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's a shame. You're right, I've done it wrong. So would it be night vision instead? It would be.
Yeah, because that's like what we can see versus like dim light is actually emitting light.
Cool, I fuck with that. I got it. My apologies.
Oh, good.
There you go. That's 2 of you done.
Yeah, there we go.
That's better, isn't it?
Yes.
And last person, 15. Well, not 51, 15. Done. Alistair, you're first.
Yes. I want to cast protection from evil on Duncan,
Okay. Goes off.
which succeeds. And then I want to move back behind this wall, hoping that offers some sort of protection.
Yeah, sounds good. So over to Norman.
Alrighty, Norman is going to try to go and help Duncan and Alistair. So, can I just like run down to where I saw them, or how would that work? Am I only allowed to move to where my sight is?
Just start moving.
Okay. I'll go to right there. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And yeah, I'm going to swing at this one with the bastard sword.
Go for it. It misses. It seems the darkness is actually, you know, kind of working with the RNG at the moment.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I've got to go in 10 minutes. Sorry, guys.
Cool. Let's try and do this quickly then.
Yep. Sorry. I didn't see that until now.
Cool. Over to Isabel.
I am going to dash.
Nice.
And that's my turn.
Suddenly, one of the orcs was hiding, and he leaps out and attacks you in the side, Isabel. Roll me a block check with disadvantage. He hits you. Have a look at his weapons. He's using his heavy axe. Roll me a d8, please. You take that as damage. One of them's going to go for Norman. Roll me a block check, Norman.
18.
Nice, you block it. And the other one is going to go for Duncan. Duncan, it's just a normal block check as you've been magically empowered.
Yep. Block. Damn it. All right.
Swings
What's
down
damage?
with he swings down with a club and tries to cave in your skull. It's a d4.
All right. D4 minus 1. Okay, so that's a 1. So if that's minus 1, what happens?
You soak it.
All right. Sweet. So I'm still on 5.
Yeah, well done. Your turn.
Okay, I'm going to stand up. And try to attack the orc to my right.
Go for it.
Right, go for it. 23,
hits.
6 damage.
Cave in his skull.
Alright. As Duncan does this, if I may, Duncan, again, like a scene from a 80s slasher film, there's a great spray of red, and Duncan yells out, "I am Basher, Breaker, and Biter!" Doosh!
Oosh. Hell yeah, man. Very cool. Now, Alice's turn. I need to roll me a focus check, please, for the spell.
Yes.
DC 11. Spell has ended.
I do have advantage on casting the spell for my talent. Does that also count on focus checks?
I don't think it does. I think it's for casting, not focus.
Alright. then it fails.
Feel free to check out the ruling on that if it isn't the
I
case.
don't think Shadowdark writing is elaborate enough to. It just says gain advantage on casting one spell you know, so I don't think it.
Yeah, it says casting. It says casting, not focus. So yeah, I'd say it's different. But there is a page which talks about focus. Maybe it'd be on there. But I
I'm
imagine it's
checking it right
DM to
now.
DM. Sake of purpose, let's proceed.
Yes.
We've only got 5 minutes.
Alright, Normo.
What do you want to do, Alistair?
Alright,
Another spell, this time Mage Armor on myself, which does go off.
Cool.
I don't have any viable damage abilities at the moment, and I start moving a bit back,
Cool. Over to Norman.
just a little bit.
All right, I am going to swing on that orc that snuck up on Isabel.
Cool. That hits. And the orc goes down.
Sweet.
And it's now Isabel's turn.
I want to swing at the one south of Norman.
Go for it. 4 points of damage. Just a flesh wound. The orc, looking around, seeing all of his allies dead, now dashes away. Into the darkness.
Alright.
With that in mind, guys, the combat is over.
Sweet.
But I will ask, do you now pursue into the center to find the slaves?
Yes, that
It's-
would be something that we would like to do. At least I would like to do that.
Cool.
Norman's gonna take the time
Agreed.
to light a torch at this point, if that's all good. But I feel like we're wrapping things up here, right?
Although, in case we forget, let's do a couple of treasure hunt rolls on these orc bodies.
Yep.
We will do it next week.
Oh, alright,
Okay.
fair enough.
So
Alright.
I will end the session by telling you as such. As you approach the center, you find both the slaves, but their throats have been slit, and the orcs that were guarding them have fled.
Shit.
Man.
But
Alright.
yes, there are many dead orcs, and they could be treasure. We'll pick up next week and see what you find.
Alright. Thank you, Loki. Always fun. Thank you, everyone
welcome.
else. I'll see you guys later.
Yep.
Yeah.
See ya.
And thank you, Loki. I'll talk to you guys next week. I've got a magic tournament I need to go to.
Have fun.
Have fun, man.
I will. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is for you.
Night. Yeah.
Night. Yeah, it's bedtime over here.
It's World of Warcraft time for me.
Yeah, I've been doing that all afternoon.
I haven't been able to. I've been out at like a country park walking the dogs. So
Oh, nice.
it's been really muddy actually. I fucking hated it. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for playing. Until then.
Yeah, see you around.